Goddamn, guys. Goddamn. How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing? And Raw was interesting, man. Raw was interesting. I don't think I've ever been that just feelingless during a Raw. That's an insane feeling, man. But yeah, I felt nothing during that episode of Raw. Not even anger at this point, just sadness. And how about you guys, man? I'm happy for that. Happy to talk about that horrible episode of SmackDown and this pretty bad, but not as bad as some of the last week's episodes of Raw. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be here talking with you guys, man. It's gonna be an exciting week. That this is the start to, man. So I'm very excited to start this week off.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Oh, what's up?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, man. How's everybody doing? First and foremost, how's everybody doing, man? We got no AEW here today on this episode. This is a all WWE episode. If you guys want to hear any of our thoughts on the happenings in AEW, pretty much everything has been covered already on the Dynasty review from yesterday. And man, we're sitting here less than 24 hours removed from Dynasty, we finally have watched the final Raw before WrestleMania. Yikes. Man, I gotta say, by watching this episode of Monday Night Raw tonight, we we we're gonna be in for a rough. We're gonna be in for a rough show on Saturday and Sunday, man. I do not have a good feeling about. I do not have a good feeling. I do not have a really much any feeling of excitement going into the show. The ending promo with Roman and CM Punk.
Man.
Look, bro. Had this promo have taken place, okay, it's weird because I feel like their promo tonight, I feel was better suited in a different spot. I think like, did tonight's promo give anybody else the vibe? Like, I feel like that's the promo that they should have cut on each other after the match, because it felt like more of a like, I hate you, but like I fucking respect you type of promo. Like, that's just kind of what it didn't feel like the final promo before the match to me. That was like a promo to me. I felt like obviously it made sense to have that promo, just not the match before WrestleMania. Again, that's like a post Mania promo. Like, we fought our asses off, we went hard at each other, but after that match, I respect you.
Oh yeah, that's what it gave off, and that promo basically made everything these two have said to each other before that promo completely meaningless. Because, like you said, that's something you say after the match is done, not right before the match to hype you up for it, man. It made all of their interactions up to this point completely useless. It gives their WrestleMania match zero to go off of at this point. It genuinely killed all the momentum for that match for me, man. That was literally them going out there saying, hey, squash the beef. Everything we've said to each other before don't really mean nothing. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go win. And Roman just said, yeah, I think I'm gonna go win too. That was horrible, man. I hated it. I think it killed all the momentum they had going into their match. Because, like you said, that's what you say after the match is done, but it's not done. This is leading up, typing. This is supposed to hype us up to the match. I want hatred between those two, and it genuinely felt like Triple H told them to both go out there and apologize to each other for hurting each other's feelings. That's really what that felt like, man. I did not like that at all. I thought that was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't. Again, it wasn't a bad promo to me, and it was like I liked the material, but I'm just sitting there the whole time like, why are we doing this now? Like, what is the point of like? And again, too, I said it last week, bro. CM Punk went out there the week before. He made fun of his football career. He talked shit about him being paper, plastic, TKO, boring, whatever he called him. Um, he shot on him hard again and again. Roman comes out there, hardly says anything, and CM Punk comes out there on an apologetic flow. Like, I thought when CM Punk came through the crowd, I was like, okay, is he about to shoot on him for, saying like, I wish they would have never brought you here, like it was my idea. I chose the names and you weren't one of them, like bringing up the little Shield story or whatever. Punk wanted Chris Hero. We all know the story. I'm like, okay, is he going to be on that kind of flow? Like, where are we going? I'm trying to scope this out before the promo starts. And then again, he's just on this apologetic, I envy you because I'm jealous of you flow. And I'm sitting there the whole time like, okay, this is fine, like, but this is the promo you're supposed to cut next week on Monday Night Raw. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? And then, like, by the time the show went off the air, I'm just staring at a blank ass screen on the TV, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, God, I feel nothing. Like, what? God, like, it's a complete contrast to how I felt at the end of Obafemi's promo. That promo, I'm
Yeah.
sitting there like, man, I'm glad they finally let this guy speak, and B, you let him speak, and holy shit, I'm like, that was great. That was awesome. I felt nothing. I literally felt nothing. Liv Morgan's music video got more of a reaction out of me than the ending of that of Monday Night Raw tonight. It did. Probably all for the wrong reasons,
Exactly.
but she's cutting her fucking Riley Reid freestyle over there. But at the end of the day, at least it made me laugh. I mean, at the end of the promo, I'm just sitting there just questioning, like, why? Why are we doing this right now?
Exactly, completely killed all the momentum they had against each other because now it's like it just made everything they did null and void. And like you said, with when you compare it to Open and Brock, Gunther and Seth, those are things that I care about more going out of this show than I do about the main event scene. Hell, I care about almost everything on these shows more than the main event scene. For these two main event matches with Randy Orton, Cody, and Roman and Punk, I care more about Gunther and Seth. I care more about Owen and Brock. Hell, I care more about Stephanie and Liv. I care more about Balor and Dominic. Dude, these might be the least I've ever felt for main event WrestleMania matches. Both of them, and they really killed it tonight with killing the momentum on their main event match.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. You can just I don't know. I just get such a feeling of like fatigue. You know what I mean? I just feel like Triple H is just giving off just he's tired. You know what I mean? He is just fighting to make it to WrestleMania to finally get past WrestleMania cuz man, this WrestleMania season, especially the last 2 weeks going into the show, my God, this is the biggest uphill battle I think the fans have ever fought going into a WrestleMania build.
Oh, it has been. It's been a complete uphill battle. You were so tired after a Raw and SmackDown the past 2 weeks. Not because you were so excited watching the show, it took you out. The complete opposite. You were so bored during the show that you're bored when it fades away, and you're like, damn, I could have took a nap for 2.5 hours, and I would have been more worth my time.
Goodness sake, bro. Goodness sake.
I'm telling you, man.
So how's everybody doing? Thank you guys, as always, for joining us for another edition of NHP Unscripted. This is episode 295 of Unscripted. We are 5 weeks out from episode 300, so pretty crazy there. But with all of that being said, if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know the show works. Every Monday we're on here after Raw with NHP Unscripted. Every Friday at 3 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news and for the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW. We are live directly after the show goes off the air with the official post-show review. Speaking of which, we will be live this upcoming Saturday and Sunday for WrestleMania Saturday and WrestleMania Sunday with the post-show review for each of those. Excited to see what kind of reviews those turn out to be because it's not looking too hot. It's not looking too hot, and in the best way possible, of course. It looks like those are going to be very discussion heavy reviews, but regardless, we will be on here for 4 days straight, but there's going to be some changes to that, and I'll get back to that in just a second. But yes, if you guys did miss yesterday's edition of the Dynasty post-show review, as well as Friday's news, the 6-year anniversary of NHP, you guys can now watch both of those on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every single pay-per-view for both WWE and AEW, as well as Friday at 3 p.m. Central for the news. If you guys want to catch those first, you guys catch us right here on YouTube, man. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find the merch live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Links at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can find the brand new Slept On design, as well as all the other OG designs live on there as we speak. Again, that is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video. And with that being said, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at Notorious Heels, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. Sir K, Go ahead. Let us know what it is you are waking up from and smiling about today.
Well, yeah, you could say I'm waking up from Raw, man, and that's it. That's all I'm waking up from, man. I think that's all you really want to wake up from is Monday Night Raw, man. But I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Happy to be here with you guys, always, man, and happy to talk about these horrible WrestleMania build shows because man, they really suck, man. They really do, man. But happy here to talk about it with you guys here, man. I'm excited to talk about all this with you guys, man. And I've been doing good, man. I've been doing good, just waiting for WrestleMania. The weekend is about to be upon us, man, and I'm very, very excited. But before the weekend, before WrestleMania weekend starts, man, we'll be on that 4 day stretch, but actually, we'll be on a 5 day stretch, man, because on Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time, man, you'll get us live playing Ready or Not NHG, man, playing Ready or Not, man. I'm excited. The game looks really fun. Never played it before, and I'm excited to play with you guys, play with you, bro. And I'm excited. I think it'll be a blast, man. I think it will be a blast. But like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How are doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I am doing very good, man. Doing very good. Yeah, just getting ready for what should be a very busy week. What should be a very busy week, and excited to, to see what goes down this weekend. No matter how good or bad it might be, I'm very excited to see what goes down. Yeah. Yeah, as for you guys, man, as Toronto is asked, I'm good. Family's good. What about you, Toronto, Logan, Bell? We got my man Hunter in the chat. Thank you guys as always for joining us for another edition of Unscripted, man. So, yeah. Like Sir K obviously just mentioned, I just showed it on the screen. I'll show it for you guys one more time, bro. We got NHG, man. We got another edition of NHG live, bro. We have decided on the time Thursday, this upcoming Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. We will be live on here, man, with Ready or Not. Dude, I am fucking pumped. I am pumped to see what this game is all about, man. I'm pumped to see what this game is all about. We obviously, I watched a little bit, some brief gameplay on it over the weekend, man, and I gotta say, it looks like a boatload of fun, bro. It looks like a boatload of fun, and I am very excited to see what the word is about Ready or Not, man. So obviously you guys will get the debut of NHPD. You guys will see your boys in action. We're gonna be stopping a bunch of motherfucking crime. All right.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're gonna be stopping crime. We could very well be the greatest SWAT team ever assembled, bro.
Might be, man. I don't think you guys are going to see anybody more efficient at
Yep.
being a SWAT team than us, man. We are going to walk through them halls, whatever we got to do,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to go crazy, man. We're gonna save these lives, save these
100%.
hostages, man. We're going to be heroes.
Bro, Gotti's gonna be calling us Mr. Walk 'em down and save them lives, bro.
Exactly, man. We're going to be
We're stealing
walking
his
them
name,
down.
dude.
We gotta steal the name for this one, man. We're gonna be walking them down, saving lives, man. We're gonna be heroes, and
Yeah.
Spider-Man ain't got nothing on us, bro. We will be the
Nothing.
real heroes on Thursday night, man. I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Spider-Man and Daredevil this summer will come nothing close to what you see on
Nothing.
Thursday, bro. Nothing. Not a thing.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So on Thursday, you guys can get ready to call us Officer Johnny and Officer Sir K, as we will put a stop to this chicanery going on in the world.
Exactly. We will put a stop to it, man. We will, John Cena might have been able to deliver the news about Osama. He'll have to do the same for us, man, because
Yep.
we're gonna stop all crime in one night, man. It's gonna be amazing.
Yes, we will compromise it to a permanent end. So ready
We
or
will.
not, here we come. All right, on Thursday
Yeah,
at 7 p.m. Central.
I knew it
Um,
was coming.
yes, I'm actually very fucking excited, dude. I'm very excited to play this fucking game. With that being said, bro, I think that's everything we got regarding just the happenings throughout the week. So again, you guys, we were going to be on here for 4 days straight. We will be on here for 5. Okay, we will be on here for 5 days straight. You got us Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then all back here right again in 1 week's time on Monday for Unscripted 296. So we will have to wait and see how everything turns out, man, which I am very nervous, man. I got to admit, bro. I'm very excited for the podcast, very nervous for WWE.
Not nervous for the podcast at all, man. In fact, the worse the show, the better the review, man. So I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a good weekend for us, man, because I don't expect a whole lot of good from these 2 nights, man.
I was gonna say if you guys need to turn to anything, brother, join us on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because man, I just got a feeling we are in for some very good streams, like Sir K said. When WWE tends to bomb the fucking shows, all that means is the better the pod, bro. So
It really is, man. And Friday's already looking good. We already got stuff about, some tickets,
oh yeah,
WWE tickets, man. We got some of that already.
They're already making the prices cheaper, man. Love to see it.
Dude,
Ton
half
cheaper.
off, actually,
Half
man.
off.
Some tickets are half off,
Half
man.
off, dude.
Crazy. They're
Things are changing.
CM Punk was right. CM Punk was right.
What a fucking joke. So yes, Friday is looking very good, man, already. So, like I said, Friday, Thursday, we got Ready or Not. Friday, we got the news and the Mania predictions. Saturday and Sunday, we got the Mania reviews. And then we got the Raw After Mania Unscripted, bro. So, without any further ado,
We usually dread the fade-in logo for Dynamite, man. I think this is the worst one to dread. I think this is the worst logo
at this point,
to have slowly fade into the screen, man.
At this point, bro. It really is. All right. Let's start off with the good stuff on SmackDown. As a matter of fact, I could probably take the SmackDown logo away because this wasn't even on SmackDown. Okay, but it pertains to SmackDown, so I'm going to keep it up. Let's start off with the good stuff, something that was actually good. Yet still, I have a problem with it. I know, we complain about everything.
Oh, we do. We complain about everything, man. Dude, I didn't even read a comment, man. I pulled up my TikTok. I saw one comment that was so long. I'm like, bro, I am not even reading this, dude. I was like, oh my God. I read like the first sentence. I knew it was going to be in for something, man. I was like, bro, I am not reading this essay. You done wrote me in the comments, man. I'm not doing that.
They gave you an earful?
Dude, it has to be, man. It had. All I read, the first part was something about, this is how, WrestleMania is. So, the classic, like, you've never seen a WrestleMania build or something like that. It was something like that. Something about us not knowing how wrestling works and how it gets built and whatnot. Makes sense, man. I don't think we do, apparently.
I've only been watching wrestling for fucking half of my life, literally. I spent more time of my life watching wrestling than I have not watching wrestling. Also, we've kind of been in-depthly reviewing these shows every week for 6 years. But,
Cheers.
we're just a couple of young guys in the game, man. We don't know what we're talking about, bro. So, LOL. However, makes sense. The Wyatts. The Wyatt 6. WWE, bro. So, 2 weeks ago, Tama Tonga gave Bo Dallas his lantern back. And he he was given the lantern back. So WWE put out a video on their social medias, which I found out about this through Twitter because I'd seen Twitter going crazy about this. Everybody was talking about this is the Wyatt 6 we want. They didn't even put this on SmackDown, and everybody's going crazy talking about this Wyatt promo, that WWE put out on all their socials. So I'm like, all right. I remembered after the Dynasty review, I'm like, oh, I got to search up this promo. I forgot to search up this promo. It is a promo of these guys sitting in fog, right? Holding the lantern that they just received back, speaking about what the lantern means and what it represents to every single one of them. And when I say that, I mean, dude, every single member sat in the rocking chair holding the lantern, speaking on what the lantern meant to them. And the most crazy part about all that, they all did it without wearing their masks. Yes, all of them. Nikki Cross and Bo Dallas included. They all spoke about what the lantern represents to them. And they all spoke, about how, they didn't have family and they didn't have a purpose, and the lantern brought them light, the light at the end of the tunnel they were looking for, the light to guide them. Dexter Lumis said something about, the light reminds him to make them all beg for mercy. And Nikki Cross spoke about how she used to have a family and she lost everything, and the lantern helped guide her home. Joe Gacy talked about not being accepted for who he was, kind of hinting at his little NXT character he had going on there for a while. Rowan's just that dude. He knows how to pull on the heartstrings. He talked about, he basically, in a cryptic way, pretty much said, he lost his family, right? He lost Harper, he lost Bray, but the lantern represents that they're always with him. Okay, and then Bo Dallas spoke about, obviously, his brother. He spoke about what the lantern represents for him to carry on. It was a beautiful piece of work. And why do I have a problem with this, you may ask? It's nothing about the promo at all. I think what they did were fantastic. I do not blame any of them for what has went wrong with this group. I don't. I blame Paul. I blame Paul because at some point or another, Paul should have been like, bro, you're coming out of the mask. All of you guys are coming out of the mask because most of them already do. You guys are coming out of the mask. Enough is enough. You guys are amazing characters. You guys can all be amazing. You guys can all be amazing humanized characters. Bro, why has it taken so long for us to see something like that? And the whole reason it gets me irritated is because I feel like we're going to get to Friday and he's going to go out there and wrestle with his mask, and he's going to go out there and be Uncle Howdy, and we're going to continue to see Bo Dallas trapped in a video package, trapped in a backstage segment. What they did, man, I gotta say, if you guys have not seen it, you absolutely need to go watch this Wyatt 6 promo. It was an incredible piece of work. And it really shed meaning on it gave more meaning, more purpose to what the lantern means to these guys. Now the next step is to humanize Bo. That is where you need to go. You need to humanize Bo. And then once you do that, you can humanize the rest of them in weekly live promos. Have these guys legitimately stand in the ring without a mask, cut promos as a faction. Dude, do faction stuff. Okay? They treat them like they are just masks. Okay? They stand there and Bo Dallas cuts, his Uncle Howdy promos, or he does whatever the hell he does. He sits there and he fucking smiles. Whatever they have going on, it needs to come to an end. But man, I gotta say, that was an incredible piece of work. That is the Wyatt 6 we needed from day one. That is that type of shit right there. Again, that is what we needed from the moment they debuted, man.
Oh, exactly, man. That is the moment. That is everything we needed the whole time with these guys, man. Because they could obviously do it by example of what we just got, man. What we got was all of them talking as themselves, talking as people, and the people that we want to see talk every week, be at the show every week. I don't want to see. I've said it for months. I don't want to see Uncle Howdy talking to Nick all this about this. I want to see Bo talking to them. I want to see Nikki Cross. I want to see the human side of them doing that because that's what matters, man. And that was always WWE's problem with Wyatt is they never, really took the human side into account. And they ended up doing the same thing with the Wyatt Six where they just saw them as mass to sell. And that's it, man. But you get segments like that where it just proves the greatness of the whole Wyatt circle, man. That shit was amazing. Each one of them sat there, held that lantern, and talked, just just for real talked, and it was amazing. Each one of them gave a great promo about the things they lost, the things that mean something to them. That's the type of shit we always wanted to see with them. That's the type of shit we should be getting all the time. I want human versions of them to interact with the MFTs. I want the human version of them to interact with the other characters on the show, man. That's what I want. And that's what that promo showed us that we could get that we don't get because Triple H is lazy and just sends them out to do their entrance, wear their mask and sell and be the silhouettes that they like them to be, man. And it sucks that, like you said, once we get SmackDown, they're gonna come out the way they always do. They're gonna wrestle the way they always do. They'll probably win with the MFT shenanigans that's been going on that we'll get to tonight, man. But it's not gonna mean anything because they're gonna keep them in the mask and they're gonna keep them as caricatures that don't really matter to television all that much. And the fact that this wasn't even on television in the first place is your clearest example of that, man. So I really hope the best, but I don't see the best. I don't predict the best. And, I think this will be one of those few times where we get to see the human side until we get stuck with the mask for months on end. We get a glimpse of the human side, and it's going to be the cycle forever with anything Wyatt family related that WWE does because they can never do it right. They can never take the human factor into it, and it kills it every time, man. They killed it. I loved what they did there, man. Every time we say it, we just want them to be like that all the time in the ring, at the show. Their human selves. That's truly what makes them special.
Indeed, bro. Indeed. See, this is why everybody feels bad for Triple H all the time. Everybody constantly feels bad for him. Ever since this whole Pat McAfee stuff, everybody, says, Triple H needs to go to war and, against TKO or whatever they've been saying. This is why I don't completely sympathize with the guy, because what he has done to the Wyatt Six is a very TKO move. That's not a Triple H move. Triple H didn't treat Sanity like that. And if Triple H is going to book under that TKO mentality too, then I don't got no sympathy for you, bro. Because again, you would have never done that. He would have never done that to Sanity. He would have never.
Oh,
That group was one of his NXT babies. Would you have treated the Undisputed Era as just a t-shirt to sell, or in the Wyatt's case, a mask to sell? No, that's a very TKO way to move, and he booked like that. He booked under that TKO mindset of, we don't really got to put much work in. Let's just sell their masks. Let's just sell off of the Wyatt legacy. Let's just do that. You know what I mean? I guarantee you, if the Wyatt Six, if you took this group exactly how it was and placed that shit in NXT, it would be the dopest thing. In 2018, it would be the dopest thing
yeah.
you'd have never seen in your fucking life, bro. It would have been the hardest shit you ever seen in your life, I promise you. But no, he wanted to book under the mentality of, again, just mooching off the legacy and selling a mask and selling the shirts and selling a legacy collection here and a legacy collection there, and that's what he gets, but unfortunately that's what they get too, and they don't deserve that. So again, that's why I don't completely sympathize with him, because for as much as people say, oh, TKO's like this and like that, Triple H has been booking under the TKO mentality as well, so he's not innocent in this thing whatsoever.
Exactly, and now this TKO argument comes into play. Like, dude, look it up and down the show, man. Yeah, TKO brought in Pat McAfee, but they didn't book this Roman and Punk feud. That's all Triple H, and it fucking sucks. Look at all the half of the shit on the show, up to down. Most of it sucks, and TKO has nothing to do with almost any of this, man. And it still sucks. Triple H just isn't doing good at his job right now. And yeah, what TK thinks or what TKO thinks is even worse, but you don't have some great booker right now in Triple H doing great stuff that's getting impaired, man. You got horrible stuff week to week that gets even worse stuff put onto it by TKO, man. They're putting a hat on a hat here. They're not interfering in good stuff. They're interfering in stuff that was bad on the get-go.
100%. 100%, man. So, that was that. Speaking of the Wyatt Six, their rivals, the MFTs. Uh, I don't know what they're doing with them. I guess they just have them going on a bunch of random side quests right now before they get to the final end mission. There was a segment where Jacob Fatu was being interviewed post a Drew McIntyre promo inside of prison. Drew McIntyre was inside a prison cell, saying that this is where Jacob belongs. This is where animals like Jacob Fatu belong. It was good stuff. I enjoyed it. But then, the MFTs, they come up to Fatu, and Solo tells Jacob, did you ever find out who attacked you? And Solo says, well, the only reason I bring that up is I think Tama knows. And Tama Tonga looks at Jacob Fatu, and Jacob Fatu looks at Tama, and they set up a match for later in the night. And then the whole rest of the night, it was never even elaborated on. So was Tama Tonga the one that attacked Fatu all those months ago? They alluded to it, but there was never any, Tama just stared at Jacob afterwards.
Yeah.
And what did you think of that? I'm pretty sure you were thinking in the same fucking ballpark I was, but what in the world? What?
Made no sense, dude. It timelessly felt like they wanted they wanted to bring that up as like a way to get this match and get tension, with I guess an ex MFT member, even though the version of the MFTs they look like they want to break up right now really has nothing to do with Jacob in the first place, so that part was completely pointless. But they allude to it, and when they alluded to it, my first thought was, oh, they're just gonna make it Tama so they could just tie up this loose end so they don't have to deal with that anymore. But they didn't fully reveal that it was him. Like you said, they just alluded to it. So it's like, was that to tie up a loose end? Was that just to get a match for a singular night and just Tama take the credit for the night just so he could get the match with him? Which what is the point of that? None of it makes any sense, and it's completely meaningless, man. What are they doing here, man? I get they obviously, from what they're doing, are looking to break the MFTs up. Don't know what they have to do with Jacob anymore. They've long broken up with Jacob, so he has nothing to do with them anymore. So they bringing that point in just to have, I guess, a random one-off SmackDown match, kind of just perfectly points at that what Triple H's booking has become. We'll do something we'll never talk about again, except we'll randomly bring it up just to have a random one-off, just to bring it back and say it was the plan the whole time. It just doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense, especially with the direction they're taking everything. That moment and just alluding to that just made no sense.
No, none at all. Again, why? Especially if Tama wasn't the guy, why would you even bring that up? But then it begs the observation, WWE in a couple months, if they end up finding out, oh yeah, we didn't really end up, having an attacker, that we want to reveal. We had a couple people in mind, but we probably don't want to go in that direction anymore because everybody else has kind of moved on. But hey, we alluded to our fans that it was Tama Tonga, so if they can complain about it, if they want to complain that they never got it, we can tell them we alluded to who it was going to be, and that was the plan all along. It was a way to cover their ass, bro. It was simply just a way to cover their ass. So if they do have somebody in mind, then they're going to reveal them, when they reveal them. But if they don't, they're going to use this, and they're going to look back to this, and when fans complain about it,
Guys.
I was going to say that they're the WWE army on social media is going to they're going to come back at the fans that question it, and they're going to be like, well, WWE, they alluded to it on SmackDown. You guys are never happy with the result. They reveal it and you guys always want more, even though no. Yeah, I do want more, cuz if that was the reveal, then that was a shit reveal. The guy was supposed to challenge for the WWE championship at the time, got all of his teeth knocked out, and that's the reveal you do?
Because it's
Nice.
just it was just a tag team guy in one of his ex groups that just randomly attacked him for no reason. They make it seem like we want The Rock to be every mystery. Like, no, I just want it to make sense. I want whoever you pick to make sense. I want it to be a plan that has a start, an end, and a goal. And that's the problem with all these Triple H mysteries and surprise and all. None of them make sense, and none of them are an actual plan. They're just a fake plan to make themselves feel smart, and it's not. It just comes off as dumb every time.
It does. So we get this Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu match. It gets interrupted by Drew McIntyre, who attacks Jacob Fatu, and he ties him up with a pair of handy dandy handcuffs.
Handcuffs, man.
These handcuffs, I tell you, they are about as tough as nails, man. These handcuffs, nothing would happen to these handcuffs, bro. Except for if you hang Jacob Fatu from his hands around the ring post, because he fell right out of the handcuffs. He fell
Like,
right out of the handcuffs.
he fucking threw him over the ring post to have him be hanging there, and the cuff on his arm just broke. He fell to the fucking ground, man. It looked horrible. What did commentary try to say in that moment
His
to
hand
cover it up?
slipped out.
His hand slipped out, and dude, what made it so much worse, dude, is is Drew McIntyre. I love Drew McIntyre, and obviously it's not their fault. They were given shitty equipment, like Lyra was back in her and Becky's match with all the the zip tie stuff, and I'm about to get to that too, because that also pertains to what I'm about to say, man. This man, Drew McIntyre, puts the handcuff back on Fatu's wrist, and you could tell it wasn't even attached anymore. And it slipped out again when he picked him up. He turned him around, he put it back on. It literally slipped out like 3 times, and he put the handcuff and tried to tie it around him like 3 separate times. It looked bad, man. It looked bad. It looked like they were given shitty equipment that they were. And if that isn't the perfect representation of these guys' feud, these two men trying their best to make something out of a WrestleMania feud, and they're just given the most shitty equipment and material in the world, man. I mean, it is sad. I feel bad for both of these guys, man, because they're trying their best. They're two of the best, and this is what they're given. They're given shitty Dollar Tree handcuffs for their segment, man, and if you go back and you watch that episode on Real about Lyra, man, and about that Becky match when, WWE was so disappointed in her for the way she did all that zip tie related stuff, man, they going to be as angry with Jacob and Drew for that? Because at the end of the day, it was really them giving Lyra and Becky shitty equipment, like it is right here where they give the wrestlers shitty equipment to work with. And are you going to blame them? Probably not, man. Who you should be blaming? Probably Triple H or whoever produced the segment and matches and who bought the equipment and who, got the equipment is to blame for this, man, because that just looked horrible.
It absolutely did, man. And I gotta say, I'm sitting in the same boat, man. I feel absolutely terrible for these guys, man. These guys do not deserve this, quite frankly, whatsoever, man. I mean, you got two guys who ultimately were screwed out of a WWE championship match, and then have still continuously tried to give us something, tried to make the most out of something of a WrestleMania build for both of them, man. And again, you see a situation like this where they're given, again, man, Dollar Tree fucking handcuffs. I do not know why they were not given legitimate handcuffs to use, and just again keep a referee on standby with the key. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't understand why, if the plan was to keep Fatu tied up for the whole segment, then why would you even use fake handcuffs? Because clearly they were cheap. It was shitty material. It was shitty equipment. And
No, it
again,
really was. Hmm.
and again, now it came at the cost of one of their segments, because these guys are scrambling around trying to figure out what to do. Fatu's trying to sell the shit. He's trying to act like the thing's still behind, still cuffed to him, and the fucking handcuff's broken. You know what I mean? Like, man, why do you continuously have to have why why are these guys continued to put in a situation to be fucked over this WrestleMania season? If it isn't the booking, it's a fucking pair of handcuffs. Absolutely ridiculous, man. WWE again. Um, WWE again. Stiffs Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre by purchasing clearly shitty, garbage, cheap material. So, ridiculous. I gotta say, man. In the end, I still I have grown to respect what these guys are trying to do, and I can, especially ever since everything kind of fell off the railings with Cody and Randy, I've respected the simplicity of their feud. It's not what they should be doing for WrestleMania, but I respect the simplicity of I guess what they have going on. This is just two guys that hate each other. You know, two guys that hate each other going into a WrestleMania match. You know what I mean? We're not seeing you know, Drew McIntyre and Tom Cruise trying to take out, Jacob Fatu and Moana. Okay, so I guess I can respect the simplicity of that aspect of it, but man, did these guys get fucking screwed over or what?
Oh, they really did, man. And this WrestleMania season, these past 2 weeks especially, man, have proven that the amount of like overbooking that Triple H does, it goes to show how much simpler booking just values so much. Because you look at Drew and Fatu, and you compare it to the SmackDown main event with Cody and Randy, and the simplicity rules it out, and that simplicity makes something so much better. And then you could look at Raw, and we'll get to it later, but like you get to Raw and you compare Gunther and Seth to the main event scene with Punk and Roman. Simplicity is just killing it with WrestleMania right now, because that's the only thing that you really can sink your teeth into
Mm-hmm.
without expecting some random third party bullshit coming in and fucking everything over, man. So again, I truly feel bad for Drew and Fatu. They're giving it their fucking best, and they're literally giving dollar store handcuffs, man. This $1 billion company can't even afford handcuffs for this segment, man. I feel so bad for them.
Terrible. Hunter asked, did we talk about Cody Rhodes segment yet? Brother, we got one more. Trust me, I was saving it for
A little
last.
more.
I was saving it for
Exactly.
last, bro. Z Maddox says Jeff Cobb is ruined. LOL. Um,
Yeah.
Indeed he is. Yes.
He is, man. He is the fire hydrant, man. He is the dork, man. He comes out there looking like Samara from the ring every week, man. And his name is JC Mateo, and he's done, bro. He's done. He ain't gonna make it past whatever contract he done signed.
Um, probably not. The only way is if they find some other Samoan looking group for him to be in. But yeah, they tore that guy to shreds, bro. They wore his ass down, bro. My God, he is not even, man. God, I mean, yikes. Yeah, they. What can you even say, bro? Honestly, what can you even say? They did that man no justice, bro. Absolutely slaughtered him. Absolutely slaughtered him. They turned him into the fire hydrant, you know. The short and stubby little fire hydrant, the wide little fire hydrant, or whatever they had commentary calling him whenever he debuted. They turned him into man. I don't even that hardly even looks like Jeff Cobb anymore, bro. It really doesn't.
No, that is not Jeff Cobb, man. Jeff Cobb and JC Mateo are two completely separate human beings, and I miss Jeff Cobb, man. I really do.
Yeah, 100%. Still a fire hydrant, but
Yeah, well, always.
but yeah. Do you get what you're saying? Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn comes out here to address the boos.
That sentence alone just is just everything wrong with Triple H, man.
He sent Sami Zayn out here to address the boos that he's been getting.
Anything, the honoraries. That's who has to go out there and address the booze he's getting.
This same guy 3 years ago was on SmackDown building a match against the Usos with his best friend Kevin Owens as they were reconciling from all the months of hatred they had for each other. And 3 years later, Sami Zayn is out here addressing the boos he's been getting since winning the U.S. title. He says, I hear the noise, I see what's going on, and I don't care. I don't care.
He doesn't care, man. He doesn't, Sami Zayn, the person that cared the most out of the bloodline, just doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He does not care. Sami Zayn, the honorary Uso, just doesn't care. He just doesn't care about the boos. You had Sami Zayn go out there and say he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the boos, man. He says that real fans still cheer him. His real fans is who he fights for. Brother, Triple H, the fact we're even in this predicament right now is all your fault. It's completely all your fault. You mean to tell me, again, the guy that was the honorary Uso 3 years ago is sitting here 3 years later getting Sammy Hogan chants and boos around the arena as U.S. champion. And why do you think that is, Paul? Why do you think that is? It's because you have neglected time and time again your opportunities to put the world championship on him. Just like you've neglected LA Knight. Just like you neglected Drew McIntyre for a very long time. Just like you neglected Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu's involvement in the WWE title program, which at this point would have probably saved us from Pat McAfee had Triple H booked that.
It's true.
Just like Triple H neglects everything. Just like he neglects everything. Just like he neglected Finn Balor's singles push in 2025. Just like he has neglected putting the championship on somebody other than Cody Rhodes.
He neglected DIY so much when Tommaso Ciampa left the company.
Yes, just like you've neglected Fraxium, Street Profits, MCMG, the War Raiders. You have neglected.
Chad Gable.
Oh, how could I fucking forget him? Oh my god.
His group, American Made, haven't seen them
the
still.
The Creed brothers. Neglected the Creed brothers. You've neglected Chad Gable. Okay? Chad Gable. Just if you've neglected Sheamus' IC title run.
Also neglected that.
You've neglected Sami Zayn's chase to a World Heavyweight Championship to the point people want to see actual up and coming mid card guys get a Mania spot. And guess who gets the Mania spot in their spots? Main event Sami Zayn, the guy who should have been moved on to the main event world title scene. Ben moved on there. 3 years later, he's U.S. champion. Do you know why people boo Sami Zayn? It's because 2 years ago, it should have been Chad Gable dethroning Gunther at WrestleMania. 2 years later, it should be Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. And it's not because of Sami. It's because of Paul. It's because Paul doesn't know any better than to have Sami Zayn fight for the mid-card championship every year at WrestleMania.
All he knows, man. That's all Paul knows. It's all he could do, man. And he neglects everybody, man. He's neglected Roman's character progression. He's neglected, like you said, LA Knight's world title status. Well, LA Knight's Money in the Bank status for what, 3 years people asked for it straight?
Yeah.
Never happened. He just neglects. He puts things on the shelf and says good things come to those who waits. And you're going to wait forever, man, because you're just never going to get it, man. We're never going to get LA Knight world title run. We're never going to get a tag team division that truly matters anymore. We're never going to get any of the stuff. And, you know, we're never going to get apparently Sami Zayn in the world title scene because all Triple H knows how to do is have people that fans really flock to in the mid-card division. And he puts Sami Zayn in there just to beat whoever that person is and put him in a random match at WrestleMania for the mid-card title, man. You done had people who got attached, the up-and-coming people making their way through the division with Carmelo Hayes, dragging off that whole circle, and you just interjected Sami Zayn for no reason into that match. And, you know, people are like, well, you know, TKO just does this to Triple H and whatnot. TKO didn't make the decision to have Sami Zayn beat Carmelo Hayes. That wasn't a TKO thing. That was a Triple H thing. The same way, up and down, everything except Pat McAfee on this show is a Triple H thing, man. Triple H is not perfect. He's been far from perfect this past year, man. And this is another example of it. You have to have Sami Zayn go out there and address the boos as Sami Zayn, the honorary oos, the biggest pop of 2023 is Sami Zayn. You have to have him go out there and address Sammy Hogan chants because you don't know how to properly book the man. It's up and down the show. And Sami Zayn is one of the worst examples of that, of Triple H not knowing when to move someone, when to evolve someone's character. Triple H does not know what he's doing when it comes to character progression within many of people. Sami Zayn is probably number one, and that's so frustrating. He has to go out there and address the boos that he's getting at Triple H's expense.
Same problem with the Wyatt Six, bro. Same problem with the Wyatt Six. It's Triple H's booking, and guess who's got to pay for it? Guess who's got to sit there and take the brunt of de-evolution? Guess who's got to take the brunt of being stale? Guess who's got to take the brunt, in Sammy's case, of being booed, of being called Hogan? Guess who's got to take the brunt? It's guys like the Wyatts, who again, nobody can care for at this point. It's guys like Sami Zayn who get Sammy Hogan chance, and it's because of his booking. These guys have to pay for it. Their careers have to be halted because he doesn't know how to evolve. He doesn't know how to adapt. He doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to move on. He doesn't know how to progress. He doesn't know how to follow through.
He knows how to do none of it. Dude, look at Solo, bro. Solo, when he was in the Bloodline, he was one of like the most coolest up and coming people they had in that company, man. And people are like, dude, I can't wait for Solo to be on his own from this group. He's gonna evolve. He's gonna be so cool. They break him away, man. And he does, you know, a Roman Reigns character attempt of like taking the power. And, you know, they had two options. They could have him fail, his character fail, and learn from the mistake, or semi-succeed and let it get to his head. They done picked the most dumb option where he lost everything. He lost every match that he was in, and he lost the Ulafala, all of it, just for him to stay in that same exact character for the next year and a half, 2 years, and people just see him as a joke. People only like Solo nowadays when he's funny, and he is funny, and it's genuinely funny when he's funny, but I miss that legit killer that was in the
Yes.
bloodline that we'll probably never see again because Triple H don't know what he's doing with people, dude. He doesn't progress characters. He doesn't make character changes that matter. He fucks it up every time. Solo's another one of those big ones for me that Triple H completely fucked up where you're just thinking, man, I wish we would have got that. Look at the opportunity they had last year with Braun Breaker. You're telling me Triple H saw that picture of Braun Breaker with that World Heavyweight title that was trending, and him on that live show? You don't do nothing with that. I get there was an injury that ended up happening later, but you chose to just keep the title on Seth probably up until Mania, probably just to put it on Punk anyway. Bro, like he doesn't commit. He doesn't know how to change characters. He doesn't know how to progress characters, and he doesn't commit. He has commitment issues that Triple H does.
I always see like fans of the ruthless aggression era, you know, they talk about like I miss the time when Vince was just putting the world title on everybody. You know what I mean? You've seen RVDs and John Cena's and Edges and Randy Orton's and all these guys that are legends today were once the mid-card guys or the tag team guys or the young guys in the faction or the rapper guy on SmackDown or the ECW guy or the random fucking guy from OVW. And these guys were, again, there was a group of guys. There was a nice group of guys that were young and getting the world title. You look at now. You look at today. Everybody's relatively stuck to where they were 3 years ago. Everybody's still in the main event scene, if not around the same title. Only a handful, and I mean a handful of guys, have genuinely made a leap into the true main event scene. And then when Triple H does want to take an opportunity on somebody, it's a guy like Damian Priest, who I knew was going to fizzle out, and he fizzled out. And guess where he is? He's right back in the mid-card, in the tag team division. Meanwhile, guys like LA Knight, guys like Sami Zayn, guys like Chad Gable have not even progressed from where they were 3 years ago. The only guy that I can really say has truly jumped into the main event scene, I can only say truly because he's been there for a while, is Gunther.
Yeah, that's the only one, man, and that's the only one. They truly jumped and made that main event scene, man, and everyone else was stuck with the same character forever, man, and I'm sure they will be because Triple H made the world title scene this elite, like this like unattainable like rich guy, and it's not even because they're like a rich guy, but like they feel like they're an HOA of a world title scene. Like you have to be in the group to be in the world title scene. You have to be a part of that up and comer friend group that's in that world title scene. Nobody can be new up there, man. It's the same 6 people in that scene, man, and it's tiring, man, and we are all so tired of their current main event players, man.
Every single year for WrestleMania, all we hear, oh, look at this past year. Look at this past year. Look at all the rumored world title matches we heard about. It was the only one that was new, yet it was still old because they ran the feud, was Braun versus Punk. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, look at all the other matches. WWE's thinking about Punk and Rollins. Oh, wait, no, they're thinking about Roman and Rollins. Oh, they're also thinking if they do Roman and Rollins, then they're going to do Punk and Cody. All the same motherfuckers. All the same people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they want to do Cody Randy. And then everybody looked at me crazy when I was like, wow, Fatu actually sounds great. Are they actually thinking about Drew versus Fatu for the title? Or Drew versus Fatu versus Cody? Or Drew versus Fatu versus Cody versus Orton? Everybody looked at me fucking crazy. But I'm sitting there like, wow, a new name. A new young name in the WWE. The guy's in his early 30s. Wow. That's awesome. All the names I just listed, minus Fatu and Braun Breaker, are 35 years and up, and have been
Exactly,
in the
all of
main
them.
event scene forever.
Exactly, and that's my problem. They all been in the main event scene. They've all been on the same main event scene. Cody's been around the same title for 2 years. Seth's been around the same title for 2 years. Punk chased the same person in the same title for 2 years. It's constant, man. And, you know, I love Roman, but like, it's just Roman facing another big guy that really just that made me, that could have meant really something, and did in the beginning, that they turned into a complete nothing burger of a WrestleMania main event, to the point you don't care about it, man. And I want a fresh world title scene, man. I want the Braun Breakers. I want the Obafemis. I want the Javon Evans. I want the fucking Carmelo Hayes, the
Reed.
Dragonoffs, the Chad Gables, Reed. I want all these guys in the main event scene. I want it fresh. I want it young. I want it new. And I'm not saying you got to just ditch and abandon Cody and Punk and all them. You could obviously keep them around and keep them in that circle, but it doesn't have to be 24/7, dude. Look at how TK does his top main adventures. Look how he does Moxley and whatnot. Yeah, there's times where you're like, damn, Moxley's always in the main event scene, but there's periods like right now where he's not in the main event scene at all, and he's still a main eventer. You can slot him in the scene anytime you need to, and that's what you want. You want to be able to have your main eventers do their own thing, but just slot in the main event scene whenever they need to. That's what a main eventer is. But these main eventers are so glued to their titles in that main event scene, it makes those titles and them look so much lamer and repetitive.
Cody just spoke about, I'm tired of being in long feuds. Okay, fantastic. So okay, great, fine. So we're gonna take the title off you because you've been around the title since WrestleMania 39, 3 years ago. Okay, we're gonna take the title off you, and you're gonna go and have a 2-month feud with Trick Williams. Then after that,
Yeah.
you're gonna go have a 2-month feud with Carmelo Hayes. Then you're gonna go have a 2-month feud with Ilya Dragunov. These are the kind of guys. And on Monday Night Raw, Roman, like Roman, like when Roman Reigns had the little mini feud with Bronson Reed. It was one
That's
thing that was
awesome.
amazing about that, the amount of shine that Bronson Reed got. Bronson Reed was hanging around with a main eventer, and Roman Reigns wasn't just in the title picture constantly like a Cody Rhodes is. He was actually just he was around the main vision circle or whatever, but it was treated as its own separate feud. You know what I mean? As Rollins' feud was treated separately from the Roman and Bronson stuff like that. I want to see that around the clock with all these guys. I want to see a Gunther going off and having a random 2-month feud with geez, who's a babyface on Monday Night Raw? Like kind of like we seen with Dragon Lee, but an actual feud would have been nice. Or Gable or Javon Evans, somebody like that, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
it just again, we want fresh, bro. We want fresh. And again, all you do is keep people the same in the same. You just keep people in the same still water that you have for 3 years, and that's why Sami Zayn gets booed. Sammy, brother, we love you. We know it's not your fault, dog. And that's why I
Oh
don't
yeah.
buy into the Sammy Hogan stuff. But at the same time, I get why people in the audience are upset. I think their hate is directed towards the wrong person, but I get what they're doing. I can't blame them for feeling that way. Because it's like, what the fuck? It should have been Gable. It should have been Hayes. You can say all these things, and guess what, Paul? You made them valid.
Yeah, he made them valid. Like at the end of the day, Sammy Hogan, like obviously it's fan misdirection, but like you can't blame them about about the way they feel. They feel slighted. They feel like they get too much of Sammy in that spot, and that's true because we do, because Triple H doesn't know how to properly evolve people and move people throughout, the scale from mid card to main eventer to world title scene. He doesn't know how to move people properly through that, man. He's not good at that. You're either facing for the world title or you're never gonna do any other thing, man. If you're facing for the world title, that's all you're ever gonna do, man. And I'm sure Cody does feel that way about, being in long feuds for forever, man. But like, you say that, but then you asked you asked to win the title back so you could be in a Randy Orton feud that you teased for 2.5 years. So do, do so I know I mean I get you're addicted to, the world title scene and whatnot, but like you could have easily took the back seat on this one, man, and let what at the end of the day what ended up being what was gonna be a better feud prevail for Mania.
Ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous, man. And again, the people that Triple H does take a chance on, the only ones that have truly succeeded, I guess you could say Cody, right? Because I guess he is technically a new world champion. And Gunther. Those are the only guys that have truly succeeded. And then you look at the other two guys he took a chance on with the world title. It's Damian Priest and Jey Uso. Paul, you got a bad track record, bro. You got a bad track record. And even the guys like Cody and Gunther, yes, they succeeded and yes, they are great, but even they fall in to the pit of nothingness, the pit of yes, being overpushed and nothingness. These guys are just put in these situations for nothing. Like Gunther won the world championship back. Now I'm glad he took the title off of Jey Uso for nothing. He held the title for about another month and then dropped it to CM Punk for nothing.
Like, who dropped it to Seth Rollins, who already won that title before, and it just makes everything just worthless, man. And it makes everything so repetitive and frustrating, man. Everybody's begging for something fresh throughout the entire show, man, especially your main event scene.
Speaking of our main event scene, that brings us to our main event scene. Nick Aldis stops Cody Rhodes as he approaches the building. Cody Rhodes says, "Where's Pat McAfee?" And Aldis says, "Cody, I know you want to see Pat, but it is from orders above me. You cannot touch Pat McAfee." He says, "I know, but the orders do not come from me." Cody says, "Well, who are you taking orders from?" The fans online are now starting to yet again use the eyeball emoji, as they are now conspiracy theorizing who is Nick Aldis taking orders from. I don't know. Maybe the same person that Adam Pearce was taking orders from after the whole Braun Breaker scuffle thing, the one that we never found out about. Maybe he's taking orders from the person that attacked Jey Uso before Elimination Chamber. We never found out who that was. Or maybe it was the person that attacked Jacob Fatu late last year. A bunch of stories we never found out anything about. So I see everybody already, oh my God, is it The Rock? Is it Vince? Guys, Triple H is probably committing as much to this as he is clearly committed to Jey Uso's involvement in the world title scene, which, as you can see, he already abandoned that, probably because it was a mistake. But we were told, let it play out.
Let it play out,
Let it
man.
play out. Jey Uso and Roman, they had a story. Well, dipshits, what happened to the fucking story between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns that I was told to wait about? But I digress. But yeah, who's Nick Aldis taking orders from? Oh, great. Let's start another mystery guy storyline, man. Wonderful.
Let's start another mystery, man, that they have no idea who it's going to be. They don't know who it is. It's not a real person. It never is, dude. You just brought up the Jay stuff, and that's so true because look at the Jay stuff. They had a whole thing with Jay and Roman where Jay was becoming Roman and all that, and they completely dropped it. They completely dropped it. They brought Jay back in the tag title scene only for them to put him half back into the single scene for Chamber and Rumble, and then they win the tag titles. They do nothing with the tag titles. They don't even bring the tag titles in their own segments. And then, in the middle of a Roman Reigns and CM Punk feud, they bring the Jey Uso and Roman stuff back for 2 weeks. And in the past 2 weeks, haven't heard a word about that Jey Uso and Roman Reigns stuff that they brought back for 2 weeks that they have dropped for the past 2 weeks. They don't know. This isn't some mystery person. It never is, dude. It wasn't with Heyman and all the or Heyman and Adam Pierce. It's not for Aldis and Cody. And even if it is, what it's gonna be some generic authority figure. No matter who grand the person is, whether it's Voldemort, whether it's The Rock, no matter who it is, it's just gonna be generic authority stuff again from fucking 10 years ago that you're bringing back. It's nothing. There is no end goal. There's no goalpost for this. What Triple H does, he doesn't work for the weekend man. He doesn't book for a goal. He books week to week, and that's it, dude. They know that the fans know that Ari put Pat there, so they're just gonna make cheeky little references to a higher power up until Mania, and then after Mania, we're never gonna hear about it again, man. So they could use all their eyeball emojis and speculate that it's gonna be The Rock, that it's gonna be Vince McMahon, that it's gonna be whoever. It's not gonna be anybody, and the fans are gonna disappoint themselves yet again at Mania when this is either completely nobody or the dumbest thing possible, man. It happens every time. And like how are you falling for this still, bro? How are you still falling for
Dude.
the same scam? You do not got emailed about like you're getting spam calls and you know they get you one time. Damn, I got scammed. Boom. So let me go back to the same website and buy the same thing that got me scammed in the first place. Why are you falling for this shit still, bro? What is there to fall for? It's not even like at least at least I could throw people some type of bone when it when you do tease, like legitimately tease The Rock being around, because at least The Rock is so good. There is a part of you that does want The Rock to be there when he was doing the final boss stuff at Mania last year and the results after. There's a part of you that wants The Rock to be there because he is that good when he's there. But you're at the point now, dude. What are they teasing? Ari Emanuel as an on-screen person, the new Vince McMahon? Any of this shit is ass, dude, and there's no plan in place. I could tell you that right now.
Well, they're real excited now. They're real excited. Who's Pat taking orders, or who's Nick Aldis taking orders from? Wow.
No,
Then
nothing.
immediately, Jelly Roll rolls up, steps in front of Cody Rhodes to talk to Nick Aldis, and he says, "Where's Pat McAfee?" He says, "This isn't about Pat. This isn't about me. This is about 20 years of history."
Why are you here?
So why are you in my fucking face? Why? Mr. Roll, why are you on SmackDown right now? This is the role they're having Jelly Roll play? This isn't about celebrities? That's the role they gave him?
And that just
He's a
mhm.
celebrity.
And
What?
like that just goes to show how performative, that Punk promo and just the they say they don't give a fuck about what the internet says. It's obvious they do because they see a fan reaction and they tell somebody within that circle that's in that horrible booking circle to go out there and just say what the fans want to hear, and the fans eat it up every
Dude.
time. You're the celebrity that's involved, that people are pissed that you're involved, but we're gonna have you specifically go out there and say celebrity celebrities aren't involved while you're out there being involved, saying that, man. And you know, you on an episode of SmackDown, you open Twitter. Oh man, what a fiery promo from Jelly Roll. You know, people can be pissed about celebrities, but you know, he could cut a promo, and it's nice to see him here. So you're just gonna fall for it. You're just gonna sit there and take it. You're like, dude, you're letting it happen. You're letting them rob your house, bro, and you're just sitting there doing nothing.
Nothing. Doing
Nothing.
nothing. Bro, you've got to be kidding me. When he said that, that was all I could say to myself. You have got to be kidding me. They are having this man play the role of anti-celebrity. He's
Celebrity.
a celebrity. Like, man, you can't get any more insulting to your fans' intelligence than that. And again, like you said, their fan base eats it up. Man, Jelly Roll's out here speaking the truth. What? He's a celebrity. Like, how stupid, how brain rotted has WWE made you to the point where you just take anything as ear service, bro? They are servicing your ears, dog. They are letting you know what you want to hear.
That's all it is. They're literally just being told what they want to hear, and they just eat it up. You know, the actions does not speak with the words, but they hear the words and they eat it right up, and they believe it, man. Easiest people to fool, man. At this point, you can't even blame like TKO and Triple H for being this like negligent and lazy, because at the end of the day, it's working out for them. You know, people are gonna be intrigued for whatever mystery Pat has for WrestleMania. They're gonna be disappointed. People are going to complain, and the cycle is going to continue, man. It gets to a point where, all the stuff that, Triple H says, about the fans, that one promo back in the day of,
I'm going to complain
him
on
talking
Twitter.
about,
Yeah.
and then, I'm still going to, at the end of the day, he's not wrong. Look at people, bro. Like, you fall for it every time, man. And you can't even feel bad to me. I could feel as mad as I want, because I know I'm not falling for what Jelly Roll the celebrity tells me on television, man. At least I could say that.
Yikes.
Fucking horrible, man.
We
Horrible.
then get this Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll scuffle in the back, where Pat walks in and Jelly Roll's like pressing him. Hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here, man?
Dude, he's such a fake demon, bro. You know one's a fake. You know someone's a fake demon when they're like overly mad and overly like aggressive with their body. Bro, what was that? Like that intimidation from Jelly Roll, man.
What are you doing here, man? This is about 20 years of history. You can run around here thinking you own the place.
Thinks he owns the place, man.
Pat says, oh, okay, well, what are you going to do about it, Jelly? You can't touch me.
You can't touch him.
And you wouldn't want to do anything when Randy is around. And he shoves him up against the wall. And Nick Aldis breaks this up. And then Jelly Roll pushes Nick Aldis.
A try hard, dude.
What? Who in the world? And see, this is what I'm talking about. People are like, oh, this is Triple H versus the system. But then we get this. this.
Triple H. Triple H booked that. Do you not realize Triple H is behind the camera? Oh yes, you got the unreal before the segment. He's in front of Pat. He's telling Jelly Roll, you're gonna grab him like this and you're gonna put him against the wall, and people are gonna be like, oh my god, Jelly Roll's on our fucking side, and then all this is gonna come to break it up, and you're gonna get in his face because you're just so frustrated with the system. And like, dude, Triple H is the one behind the booking to this.
I was gonna
bro.
and that's what I'm saying too, bro. Like people think it's all Ari. Ari's not in the back producing these segments, saying, "Okay, we're gonna." Triple H is the one that looked at this and then said, "All right, yeah, go ahead, put it on the run sheet. All right,
You,
yep, that's
he's
fine."
spineless. He ain't gonna fight back. He ain't, if Triple H is fighting back, he's sending people out there to go talk for him because he can't talk for himself, man. He's got to have other people do it for him.
If you look at Triple H's usage of Pat McAfee, it was a good way to get Pat involved. Last year with Gunther, Gunther was pissed because Pat McAfee was a Jey Uso mark. They wrote that into where it made sense. This, none of this makes sense. Now, again, I wasn't even the biggest fan of Gunther's post-Mania stuff being Pat McAfee, but at the end of the day, you know, it made sense. The match turned out really good, and it made overall, it made sense. That, to me, is what I would imagine is, okay, that's a Triple H way of booking things. 1 year later, we get this. Less than a year later, we get this. This is how you're moving now.
He's running with Randy Orton, bringing '09 Orton back, and then Jelly Roll's mad at him for being a celebrity on the show. So Jelly Roll, the celebrity on the show, gets in his face and is mad. Like, dude, there is no logic, and this is all Triple H doing this and moving it. You could do this a million other ways. If TKO told you, hey, we want Pat a part of this, that's all Triple H was told, and that's what he's doing, man. And it's ass. And he, you can only make something so good, but he doesn't try at all, man. He does not try.
We're an hour and a half in and haven't even got to the worst part.
We
Pat
really have.
Pat McAfee makes his way to the ring for a promo segment.
Just Pat went out there, man.
Yes.
He good. Triple H. He was giving Pat to book, but he could have booked Randy Orton to come out there to Randy Orton's thing, song. Maybe Pat, behind the person challenging for the world title, man. But no, Triple H sent Pat McAfee out there solo for the promo.
Pat McAfee goes out there and he talks about CM Punk to start, which CM Punk on tonight's episode of Raw did not mention this at all. And you mean to tell me that pipe bomb wasn't performative? That pipe bomb, that thing that was more explosive than the 2011 pipe bomb was better than the 2011 pipe bomb? Was a real thing? He couldn't give two fucks about what was going on SmackDown. He don't give a shit. He went out there tonight, didn't even mention it. Nor should he have. He shouldn't have never got involved in it in the first place.
But he did. He was sent out there by Triple H to do damage control, and that he did. And this week he was sent out to do his own thing, and that he did. He didn't bring what Pat said about him again up at all, man. Because at the end of the day, how could you really respond to what Pat said?
Yeah, not really. Well, I guess he could have. He was in the mood for apologizing tonight, so maybe.
He really wasn't. Maybe, he did apologize. I mean, at the end of the day, he was in the mood for apologizing, man. And the last time he apologized to Saudi Arabia.
So, Pat deadass came out here and sounded like one of these one of these wrestling fans that just lives and breathes through Twitter. They kind of like the constant Twitter gas mask on. They all day up and down. They just live to tweet something.
Oh yeah.
Pat McAfee comes out. It's literally no different than deadass pulling somebody on Twitter. One of these mouth breathers. Having them go to SmackDown and cut a promo. He tells CM Punk he's a good boy and will roll over on his stomach for anything TKO asks of him. He makes fun of the fact that CM Punk is wearing WWE licensed merchandise. Pat, you know you were wearing WWE licensed merchandise, right? Just saying.
Yeah, literally.
But then he asks, when you get the check for that merch, does it go to the people that can't afford WrestleMania tickets, or does it go to the I'm sorry Saudi Arabia account? I was waiting to hear what Punk had to say about that one.
He had nothing to say about that one, man. You know,
Which
usually when you know,
here's
go ahead.
here I was gonna say, the whole CM Punk Saudi Arabia thing, bro. I'll say it's not even that he apologized to them. For me, it was what he said. It had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. That was what got me. That's all I'm saying.
I criticize someone for going to Saudi Arabia, man, but it's not because of Saudi Arabia, man, not at all.
What? That made no sense.
Like at the
Like,
end
you
of the
gotta
day,
own it. Like, look,
you
I
got
said what I said. I apologize. That's it. It had
and,
nothing to do. I think that
and
had
nothing.
everything to do with Saudi Arabia, personally.
Maybe you could have said like he did it, he said it because he was talking to a bunch of fans. So maybe he could have said like it had nothing to do with the fans in Saudi Arabia. It was more about a system that I didn't agree with or whatever. Nothing. He just blatantly said it wasn't about Saudi Arabia.
Brother.
Yeah. Just stop, Punk.
But yeah, he makes fun of Punk for the Saudi Arabia stuff, and I guess Punk has now, maybe he came out here apologetic because somebody clapped back at him, maybe, because apparently they
Maybe.
don't want Roman to do it.
And Roman can't clack back at Punk, man. The second he gets to, they have an apology segment, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
Then Pat really gets in his bag. He says he is a hero. He is an agent of change.
Pat McAfee, the agent of change,
That's
man.
got to be his nickname, bro. That's got to
He's
be
the
it.
agent of change.
The
That's what Pat
agent
made.
of change.
Is Pat McAfee, man. He comes in and changes everything, man.
That's right. For the better. For the better.
For the better.
Wow. He's an agent of change, eh? All right. He says WrestleMania ticket sales are low. Nice.
Thanks.
Nice.
Great job, man.
I bet
not...
Triple H threw his fist up in the air when he heard that one. He was like, boom. That was the segment, man. Good business.
That's a shot, man. Ticket sales are low. No one's coming to see us, man. That makes us look so cool.
That just, wow. They just look like the cool kids on the block with that one, bro. This is the shit I'm talking about. Like, either Ari is dead ass, like telling Pat McAfee to intentionally go out there and bury Triple H, or Triple H is like seeing this stuff on the run sheet and he's not thinking to himself like, hey man, maybe we shouldn't bring up the low ticket sales, maybe that's not really the best idea. But it gets worse. I haven't even got into the it gets so much worse. Let me just read this chicanery to you guys. He says WrestleMania ticket sales are low, and I agree with that. When you have fat, sloppy bag of bones CM Punk in one of the main events. He says, but I pulled some strings with my friends over at Ram Trucks. And I got WrestleMania Night 1 tickets on sale. 25% off now through Sunday. But I know what you're asking. And it's only Night 1. Because WrestleMania Sunday, ass. I wouldn't recommend anyone spend money on Night 2. Ass.
It's ass. It's ass. You- Oh man, there's so much. Like, I, they're trying so hard to be, break the fourth wall and be that type of thing where like we know what we're doing, but it obviously makes it no, you don't know what you're doing because you're just making yourself look like an ass. Pat, you're making TKO, Triple H, this company look like an ass. Talking about the only tickets are available for this night because the other night is quote ass.
Ass.
That's our way to sell night one. Not by trying to get the fans to buy night one because in my opinion it's the better night. Pat didn't go out there and say Randy CM Punk and Roman Reigns, they're top guys, they're great, but in my opinion you guys should go to night one because Randy Orton is the best there is, and he's gonna beat Cody Rhodes, and that's gonna be greater than night one. Do you know? He doesn't prop up his night. He just simply makes the other night ass by saying it is ass.
It
That's
is
just
ass.
great work, man. That's just great. It's ass, man. This thing we're putting on, it sucks. It is trash, man. That's why you should buy the other thing we're selling, man. Because the one thing we're selling, it sucks, man. It sucks. What? What do you say, man? What do you
Uh,
say besides like you really had him go out there and literally call night two ass when the worst part is if you really break it down, the reason night one was on sale and not night two is because night one obviously has less tickets being sold than night two.
mhm.
So you have to cope with a deal, but your coping is just saying the other night that's outselling the night you're trying to hype up is ass. So if night two is ass, then what the fuck is night one? Is my question.
Bro, oh man. Yes. Yeah, like you said, if night 2 if night 2 is if night 2 is ass, and that's the night with Roman and Punk and Oba and Brock, then I genuinely want to know what night 1 would be considered at that, because holy hell. Dude, I you mean to tell me you actually thought it was a good idea to have Pat McAfee go out there and utter the words, "I would not spend my money on night 2 because it is ass." Who in the world would send him out there and say that? Or how is he not getting fucking obliterated and blackballed for saying that if he's going into business and for himself or whatever is going on? How are there not serious consequences for that? You have about 40,000 people for each night, which is
Oh
the
man.
lowest attended WrestleMania in 20 years. And you have a guy going out there recommending people to not spend their money on one of the nights because it is going to be ass.
And that's the worst part. You could ask who sent him out there. Who's Triple H? He sent them out there, and Pat McAfee walked back through that curtain, and Triple H didn't say a fucking word. He just let it happen. But Triple H is a victim here, man.
He's a victim.
He's a victim here, man. He doesn't want this. He's not doing anything to make it look better or to stop it or to change the general direction. Nothing.
That's what I'm saying too, bro. Like, everybody's feeling so bad for the guy. Dog, you mean to tell me Pat has to be like, look, if Ari wanted Pat involved, you mean to tell me it has to be in this way? Like, Triple H isn't saying, look, Ari, if you want him involved, fine. But we got to change a direction on his usage. He's got to be a hype man for Randy Orton. This dude is going out there and it looks like he's getting the WWE title match.
You would think, man. You would think, especially what happens later in this segment, you would really think he's the one getting the title match.
Yes.
Because Triple H is not doing anything to make you think otherwise. Because, yeah, TKO, Ari Emanuel told him to involve Pat McAfee and put McAfee in it. But like you said, he could have made him a Randy hype man. He could have made him this. He could have made him that. Triple H took what he was given and made it even worse by making Pat McAfee the center of attention in this feud.
Again, if this is an Ari thing, you mean to tell me Triple H can't go to him and be like, look, I know you want him involved, but we kind of got a problem here because he looks more important than my guy who's actually in the title match. But no.
No, he's not doing nothing.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Is Triple H having Shapiro talk to Ari for him? Is he having Khan talk to Ari for him? Well, come on, man. So, Pat McAfee says that if Cody Rhodes wins at WrestleMania, you'll never see his face in this business ever again. Well, guys, get ready for Randy Orton to win his 15th title because we're getting that tag match at Backlash. And then guess what we're getting, too? We're getting this whole Randy Orton and Pat McAfee thing all the way up until SummerSlam, bro. And Cody's going to win the title back.
It's going to be Cody and Randy. Cody winning the title back. And one of the undercard matches will be Jelly Roll versus Pat McAfee in a singles match where the baby faces prevail. And, Jelly kicks Pat McAfee out of the scene and Cody Rhodes wins the world title back again, man. That's what this is going to fucking culminate to.
And then what? Cody's going to hold the title into Mania 43? And then who does he face now? Who on God's green earth gets the Cody match next year for the world title?
Probably like Seth Rollins or something.
Oh.
Someone we already know.
Well, now
it's going to be one of the main eventers.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, bro. Cody Rhodes comes out. He says Pat needs to go back to that agent that sent him. Ooh. They mentioned
Cody's so bold. Cody's so brave, man.
Yeah.
He alluded to Ari, man. He's so brave. He put his job at risk, man. He really did.
He did. Yeah,
he truly put his job at risk.
Big time. Yeah. He said, you need to go back to that agent that sent you and say, thank you, Daddy.
It's material we're working with.
What?
Thank you, Daddy.
Thank you, Daddy. And why did he say it like that?
I don't know, man.
What is Pat waking up from, dog?
He's waking
was
up.
Was Ari Emanuel doing Pat like Clark Connors was doing the couch, bro?
Apparently he's a daddy, man.
Thank you, Daddy.
Man. Thank you, Daddy. Via Cody Rhodes. For Cody Rhodes. Thank you, Daddy.
He then goes on this long Cody Rhodes speech, and he pretty much tells Pat nobody wants him here. And he says, go home, Pat. And then Cody goes to leave the ring, and he walks up the ramp, and Pat McAfee says, where are you going, Cody? You going to suck Triple H's ass? Are you going to suck the Booker's ass?
What kind of fucking insult?
What is this verbiage? Thank you, Daddy. Okay, so in this promo alone, we got WrestleMania's ass. Don't spend your money on the fucking tickets. Thank you, Daddy. We got another tongue-in-cheek Ari Emanuel reference. And we got sucking Triple H's ass.
This is what it sounds like when you hear fucking middle schoolers arguing at the fucking lunch table. You're just gonna suck Mr. H's ass, you little asshole. Like, dude, this is what in the middle school is this trash, bro? That's the material that Pat McAfee can give is sucking Triple H's ass. That's what you say.
I I
That's what you call Cody Rhodes.
I think I've heard better insults in third grade.
In third grade, I did. I've heard some crazy stuff in middle school, actually. Some
Oh God.
crazy, crazy things in middle school. So middle school is genuinely throwing these guys a bone for a
Man,
comparison, dude. This is fourth grade work, bro. Sucking Triple H's ass is what he's doing, man.
sucking his ass, dude. Sucking the fuck out of
No,
his ass.
his fucking booking sucks ass, dude. WrestleMania sucks ass, dude. Man.
Pat entices Cody to come back to the ring, and Cody gets on the apron, and then you hear Orton say, "Hey, Cody, aren't you worried about your boy?" As he drags Jelly Roll out there, and his shirt is ripped up as if he just got attacked by Chop. He looked like he just got ran down by a Rottweiler. Like, did Orton bite him? Like, why was his jacket ripped up like he just got attacked by a werewolf?
I don't know if Ace Steel attacked him or Randy Orton did. And like,
For real.
that's his boy. In like 20 years of history, that's how you get to Cody Rhodes. You attack his boy, Jelly Roll. He doesn't, go on his tour bus and, mess with something. He doesn't go to his house and mess with his family or while his family's not home, he moves. None of that, man. You know how he gets to Cody Rhodes, man? He quote, gets his boy and takes out Jelly Roll and mauls Jelly Roll to the point where his jacket's ripped like a dog attacked him.
So Jelly comes out here, and
It's dragged out.
he gets dragged out here by Randy Orton, and he's laying on the ground as these guys attack Cody Rhodes, and they leave Cody Rhodes and Jelly Roll laying, and Pat McAfee picks up the WWE title, hands it to Randy Orton. Orton poses with it, throws it back to Pat, and dude, they leave the arena with the WWE Championship around the shoulder of Pat McAfee. They left, and Pat got in the driver's seat of his Ram truck that, supported his Mania sale. And he drove away with the WWE Championship. Randy Orton looks so much like a side piece. I mean, this is... I gotta say, man, when I heard we were getting the Cody and Randy feud, you guys know you can watch. I wasn't even mad at it. I was just mad that they set up the Fatal 4-Way just to then revert it back to something that it should have already been in the first place. And they finally gave it to us, and I said, you know what? They're trying their best. They're finally giving the fans something they want. It took you 3 years, but okay, you know what? Whatever. You're giving us, Randy, Cody, fine. I could have never imagined during this feud we would see Pat McAfee leaving the arena, sliming out Cody Rhodes, and wearing his WWE Championship around his shoulder. Pat McAfee, the commentator, the Jey Uso mark, is leaving the arena with the WWE Championship.
Exactly, man. Who would have thought? This feud, everything started out. Randy Orton turned on Cody Rhodes in a Cole segment. Next week, Randy Orton's fucking calling Zack Ryder a mark ass stooge, Matt Cardona a mark ass stooge. It was great. I was like, dude, they're starting to shoot, man. This is dope. I like this. And then they do some mystery color angle because with Triple H, there's always has to be some mystery. There's always has to be some surprise on the horizon. We're being fooled. And we were fooled because it was Pat McAfee that came out and joined forces and revealed he brought back the original kill '09 Randy Orton. It was him. And now it's to the point where Pat McAfee is the one holding the WWE Championship after attacking Cody Rhodes. And Pat McAfee, he doesn't have a title match. It's Randy Orton that has a title match, but Pat McAfee is walking away holding Cody Rhodes' world title, getting in his quote Ram truck that sponsored the 25% off for just night one because night two is ass per Pat McAfee. Like, dude, you can't make up how absurdly this feels like a parody. You know what I mean? This feels like a fucking parody of pro wrestling, man, in the worst ways possible, man. They think they're self-aware, but they just make themselves look like asses, dude. You have this sponsorship doing this, you have this doing that, you have Pat McAfee holding the world title. Was that an Aria request, or is Triple H just not caring what's happening in front of him and just lets this happen? Because I don't think that Ari Emanuel is that in the weeds, quote unquote, to where he's booking that segment. I think it was Triple H that let that segment happen, and he let Pat McAfee hold the world title out the arena. He could have easily said no to that. He could easily shut that down, but he didn't, man. So I don't feel bad for Triple H. Triple H took chicken shit and pissed all over it and made it even worse, man. And he took something that was already horrible, didn't help the situation at all, and made it worse, dude. He turned the toaster fire into a house fire, and he completely burned the whole thing up. Randy looks horrible. He looks like a side chick. Cody was horrible and weak. Jelly Roll's still involved in the circle for some reason, and Jelly Roll is the center of sympathy in the Randy and Cody feud. Is Jelly Roll? He's the center of sympathy in the feud, man. Not the friendship between Cody and Randy, not Cody's family, not the connection between the families of Randy and Cody. None of that. Jelly Roll is the center of sadness in the feud, man, and compassion in the feud. This is horrible. Triple H is doing his absolute worst to do something with this, and I blame Triple H, man. And yeah, TKO got involved in the first place, but Triple H could have done a million things to make a bad situation better, and he did nothing and made it absolutely worse, man. SmackDown is horrible. This whole world title scene is horrible, and Pat McAfee was holding the world title, leaving the arena, man. Horrible, horrible work. And I'm sure he's gonna walk in on Friday wearing that title too.
Oh, you know he is. He ain't letting that
You
motherfucker
know he.
go. Well, I'm assuming Randy's gonna win on Saturday now anyway, so he's probably gonna be holding that thing all summer.
Oh, you know it. Randy's gonna be coming out. He's gonna be holding it behind him like he's Paul Heyman. I already know we're in a summer of fuck ahead of us.
Yes. The whole summer's ruined now. The whole
Oh,
summer
it's
is.
we're doomed. We're doomed this summer, dude.
I don't know what was ever looking up in the first place, but now it's really ruined.
We're gonna get Bloodline reheated nachos and Pat McAfee with Randy Orton for the summer. Yay! This is gonna be
God.
great.
That was SmackDown, bro. What an absolute joke. Everybody involved looks like an absolute twat. I mean, literally everybody involved, man. Horrible. This is some of the worst stuff, man. When I seen that image, because I seen the image before I actually watched the segment on Friday. When I seen that image of Pat McAfee with the WWE title around his shoulder, I knew we were in for one. I just knew it. I knew it, man.
Truly did. And that's another thing I actually do love about pay-per-view weekends is, SmackDown sucks, but watching it with you after it happens, man, oh, that's the greatest thing ever because we're just sitting there in absolute disbelief at the shit in front of us, man. It
Man,
truly makes it because we're just sitting there like, dude, what the fuck is this, bro? What
not
is
for
this?
real. No, it is. It's always, man. If I God, if you got you get man, you especially when the shit is bad, man. You gotta have somebody to watch this shit with. I couldn't imagine watching this bullshit by myself. I would feel mental.
Oh, I would go insane, dude. I would genuinely lose my mind. You would put somebody in a padded room in a straight jacket and just play current WWE television for them, and they turn into the fucking Joker because this shit drives you fucking crazy.
It does. That was SmackDown, bro. What an absolute joke. What a joke of a show. A sorry excuse for a wrestling show.
Very sorry.
Now on to Raw. But before we get to that, we got a word from the sponsor here at NHP. W Energy, man. W Energy is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. W is a clean formula that is sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase.
Truly always gotta shout out W, man. Whether workout, work, whatever you need the energy for, man. It's WrestleMania weekend. We all know it. If you want to be up for the from Monday to Monday of wrestling on the television. If you want to be up, you want to be focused watching all the horrible shit that's going to be in front of you. Well, besides us, of course, man. If you want to be up, focused, you got W, man. It'll keep you energized, keep you focused. You won't have the jitters, and it'll taste good all at the same time. Truly always. Got to shout out W.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As always, thank you and shout out to the wonderful people over at W, the official sponsor of your guys over here at NHP, man. So, with all of that, that brings us... That brings us to the Monday Night Delight that is known as Raw.
I don't know really what's delightful about this show, man, besides like 2-3 things on it.
This took place from Sacktown, Sacramento, California. As bro, the show opened up with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. Now remember last week there was a brawl and nothing ever got signed. So they had Brock and Oba come out at separate points in the show to sign their contracts. Brock came out first to open the show, probably so he could get the hell out of Dodge immediately after. And
100%.
he said Heyman was yapping. Brock immediately signed. Heyman started yapping, and Brock ripped the mic from him and said, "After Sunday, you won't even remember his name." And he left. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty to the point. And obviously, that brings us immediately to the Oba part. This was a little bit later in the night. This was more towards the end of the show. Oba comes out to sign his contract, and he successfully signs, and Paul Heyman comes out. And I was what initially was a rolling of the eyes for me actually turned into something great, because typically when Paul Heyman speaks, he just goes on and on and on about a bunch of nothing. But this one was different. This one was different. I actually enjoyed this segment from Heyman. He said on Sunday, when Obafemi gets conquered by the Beast, he promises whenever Oba needs to build his career up again, my door will always be open. So he's offering Paul Heyman to he's offering Obafemi to be a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, man. Look at that. He could join the likes of he joined Paul Heyman. That's something, I guess. Maybe not anymore.
Oba grabs the mic, and I was like, oh my god, they're finally gonna let him talk.
So excited, dude.
When he was about to grab the mic, I fully expected like Brock to come back out or something like that. I fully expected something, but no, he actually spoke. He said, "Paul, it is taking everything in me not to come up there and beat you pillar to post, but the physical pain will go away. But the emotional wounds will last forever." He says he tells Paul, "You can close your door, because the only door I need open is the one that's already open, the door to WrestleMania." He says it is time to put an end to your beast. He says you've been there the whole time as his friend, his advocate, his mouthpiece, and a good mouthpiece at that. But you have not been an honest one, because if you were, you would say my beast is scared of Obafemi, the ruler, the destroyer, the bringer of war, the mountain you cannot climb and the mountain you cannot conquer. And the beast will meet his end. I am the one, I've always been the one. I know it, they know it. And at WrestleMania, you'll know it too.
Hey.
That is how you get people excited for your WrestleMania match. This back and forth between Paul Heyman and Obafemi, I've been asking for them to let Oba speak on this since it started. And I'm glad they gave him the shot to finally say a couple words on this. It was straight. It was to the point. I love this, man. This feud has been booked great ever since it started. And like I was talking about earlier, dude, simplicity is where this WrestleMania build is shining. Because if something's simple, once you get too many moving parts, like we see a lot in this WrestleMania build, it is completely going to shit. But it is the stuff that is simple. Simple builds have been the best. This has been great.
Hey.
This was a great way to get everybody excited. Obafemi's that dude. I don't know if there's people that don't see it. If you do feel that way, I do not know how. Because, man, this dude is legit, bro.
Obafemi's legit, man. I loved this. I loved the fact that Oba finally got to speak on the main roster on Raw and you know, in this program. And this program has been really good, man. I really like what they have done so far with this, and I like the role they put Brock in this time. The last time we saw Brock, it was with the Cena stuff, and they did horrible in Brock's role in that, man. But you look to this, and this is exactly how you use Brock Lesnar. He's there, he brawls, and I love when he says the occasional thing on the mic like he did earlier in the night, man. And you got his opponent, and you're building his opponent with Obafemi, man. And Oba looks great, man. He got to talk finally, and it was awesome, man. I love the way he talks. I love the things he talks about. I love just the way he like talks about himself and just like truly like believes in himself, and that's what you want. You gotta, in order for others to believe in you, you have to believe in yourself. Oba is like the perfect example of that, because man, that end of the promo, anytime he gets to the part in his promos where he's yelling that he's the destroyer, the bringer of war, the ruler, that shit just that you feel when he does that shit, man. I loved that shit, dude. I thought it was great. I loved what he was talking about, man. And I'm excited for the match, man. A lot of people are saying, I hope it's not a squash match. I'm actually kind of hoping the opposite. I hope it is like a faster, more quick-paced match, because there is a track record with Brock not working well with other big guys of his size, man. But I'm excited for the match. I'm excited for the program they built, man. They kept it simple. They kept it straightforward, man. It's two guys that are the absolute most beast at what they do, and we're gonna see one of them prevail at Mania. This is the type of shit I want to see, man. I'm excited for this match. I'm excited to see, really what they can do with Oba afterwards, man. Whether he wins or loses, it could go either way at this point. And I'm in the boat of, at this point, expecting the worst with this company. So after Mania, I truly hope they truly lock in with Oba after Mania, man. But I love this segment. I love the build that these guys have with each other, and I'm excited for the match, man. And this is what Mania should. This is how Mania should feel. Is when you feel this match. This is how the whole show should feel.
Yeah, 100%. As for WrestleMania, I feel so. Yeah, I do have the same. I obviously don't want this match to be 20 minutes or anything like that. I think if Brock is going to be working 20 minutes, he needs to be in the ring with a guy like Javon Evans, right? He needs to be in the ring with a high flyer. He needs to be in the ring with a Seth Rollins, or, somebody smaller than him. When Brock is with a bigger guy, like a Goldberg, like a Drew McIntyre, his best matches are around the 5 to 7 minute mark. Okay, so it's around that, and I'm hoping that's what this match is because yeah, a lot of Brock's matches, you even look at some of the ones with Bobby, those were a bit longer, not too long, but they were longer, and they
Yeah.
sucked. They sucked. So yeah, they were not good at all. But I'm hoping the Oba match is kind of around that ballpark, just because again, Brock works best in smaller matches when he is with bigger guys. Again, if you guys want Brock to work a long match, it's gotta be against look at his Finn Balor match, his AJ match, his Bryan Danielson match. So that is where Brock shines. But man, I'm excited for this match, and I'm really excited to see what these two guys got in store and who they have in store to win this whole thing. Because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be really upset if it is
Yeah.
not Obafemi.
Exactly, man. I am prepared for the worst, but I don't think these fans really are.
Yeah. So after the opening segment, going back to the beginning of the show, after the opening Brock segment, we got I Show Speed training videos that showed Speed training with Logan Paul and Austin Theory. I gotta say, obviously it's Vision stuff, so it's corny. But Speed didn't look too bad. I mean, he's a very athletic guy, and I believe they had that whole like Speed Goes Pro show. So
They
I'm
did.
assuming he's been training for quite a while. This was probably the plan all along. Not this exactly, but to get him, in ring ready enough to have an actual match on the show, whatever that may have been. It just, obviously is WrestleMania, but he looks athletic. He looks okay in the ring. Again, it is just something I don't really care about. But at the end of the day, I mean, again, he looks very athletic.
Exactly. Like that's not my concern, and I don't think that's any of our concern at Mania with
Mm-hmm.
Speed is he's an athletic guy. I'm sure the match is going to be fine. I'm sure he's going to be fine in the ring, and he's probably going to do a cool thing or two, man. But it's just the celebrity fatigue that we are all in that just does not make the situation any better. And then, like, he's in this version of the Vision, which is inherently without speed ass, and you just put a celebrity in it, and it just makes it even more sad. And that's I think most people's gripe with this situation is not even Speed himself, but just the circle he's around and just celebrity fatigue.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, bro. So, uh, we got. Let's see. We got. Speaking of that whole circle, we have LA Knight and the Usos in the back,
Man,
and they get interrupted by the MFTs. What?
LA Knight can never escape the bloodline, man. He can't.
No kidding. What could the MFTs possibly have any business doing on Monday Night Raw? What?
It's so stupid. And like that's the shit I hate that Triple H does anytime before a big pay-per-view. Literally, I mean, obviously brand shit don't matter anymore with Triple H in itself, but you really feel it before a major pay-per-view because you just see the most random people in the most random spot on these shows, man. It's so stupid.
Like they walk up and I'm sitting there
Dog,
like, huh? Like, dude,
why are you here?
am I watching the right show? I hope I'm not watching SmackDown.
I hope not.
Solo tells the Usos they are embarrassing the family. LA Knight then proposes a 6-man tag. He proposes that him and the Usos get a little bit of practice before their Mania match. So he challenges Solo against any 3 of the MFTs. So this ended up being Solo, Tongaloa, and JC Mateo. The little tree stump. JC
Fire
Mateo.
hydrant, man. Because
The,
Solo mentioned that they haven't seen Tama at all.
yeah, I haven't seen him. Yeah, nowhere to be found.
Haven't seen him. Nowhere to be found, man. Not like we probably showed up with them, but I
Yeah.
digress.
Yeah. The Usos got yet again another new theme music.
New theme music.
This one wasn't as bad as that Usos day one ish, man down since day one ish song. This one, in fact, was still horrible. It was the Jey Uso song to a copy. But instead of It's Just Me Us, they changed it to It's Just Us Us.
It's literally just Jay's song with the hook changed to us instead of me, dude. What is the problem with using the Usos actual theme song? And that's the worst part. You know how they start fucking Jey Uso and the Usos entrances now. They're in the crowd, they're yelling, "Hit our music!" And when Jimmy said, "Hit our music," I can't believe I did this to myself, but I got a slight second of hope of, are they gonna play the right tag theme? And boy, did that shit just feel like a gunshot wound when I heard "It's Just Us Oos, just us Oos, just us Oos" over and over again. Absolutely horrible, man. Horrible. Brain rot.
I was actually the exact opposite. When he said hit our music, I said, "Oh my god, they're going to fucking play that monstrosity again." I thought they were going to play the Usos Egyptian mix again. And then I hear Jay's song come on, and I'm like, well, he said hit our music. I'm like, no way they gave them another new theme song. And I said to myself, oh my god, this is going to be the one where it says it's just us, Oos. And sure enough, they said it's just us, Oos. So when he said that, and I heard the music, I'm like, oh, they did it. I'm like, they did what I originally thought they were going to do for the new Usos song. That's what I thought. I never thought we were going to get the Egyptian mix, the Assassin's Creed
No,
Mirage version of it. But we got it tonight, and bro, it's never coming back. The OG Uso
it's never
song
coming
is
back.
this is going to be the new permanent thing. It's just us Us. The Jey Uso song with the changed hook is Jay single run done fuck this whole thing up, bro, because they can't evolve. They can't move past the fact that Jey Uso's singles run is done. Give them back the theme song that isn't broken. Nothing's broken. People love it.
People love it. People are asking for it, but they can't progress characters. And once they know something's safe, once they know, there's at least always going to be some people from now on that are going to yeet to Jey Uso's song. Then they're in the mentality of, well, no matter what we do, we have to get them to still yeet, and we'll just do Jay's song, but we'll change the lyrics, man, so they still can yeet. Yeah, it's lazy. It's Triple H to a T, and it's just fucking frustrating, man. That the Usos, the best tag team in this company's history, is stuck in Triple H booking purgatory of the same cycle of nothingness. It sucks.
Triple H has the hardest Jey Uso brain rot. I can't even explain it, bro. I really
He
can't.
really does, man. He really does. Jonathan Fedna, man, how you doing, bro? How's it been?
The Fed is here.
He's
Hello,
here.
my brother. How are you doing, my
How you
man?
been?
Hey, Hunter, I can only hope they put the world title on Oba. Knowing Triple H, it'll be
They will.
2030, and Oba Femi will just be in the news for Triple H thinking about putting a world title on him soon. You know,
A real booker would, a real booker would have him beat Brock and then win the title at SummerSlam. But Triple H, he's not a real booker. He's
yeah.
lazy. He's scary. We're gonna wait years.
Uh, it's just us, Oos.
Just no Seuss. Indeed.
Bro, what was the part in this match where Jimmy Uso started
Backing it.
started clapping Jay's shit up, dog? Jey Uso was about to do a suicide dive, and his brother Jimmy just starts pancaking his ass, dog. He just starts slapping his ass. What was up with that, bro? Do you have an answer for this?
I have an answer. I don't know what's the wrestler obsession the past 2 days with slapping ass.
Holding
I
ass.
don't understand. I will say though, the way commentary just shut up when they noticed he was doing it was actually hilarious. They're giving their generic
Yeah.
commentary about the match. They're like, oh, Jey Uso goes for the. And you can just feel the confusion on their face because they don't say a fucking word. That actually was kind of hilarious. I was like, bro, what the fuck is this show? What is it? What are they doing?
You aren't gonna like slap him on his back to like hype him up. You had to sit there and play patty cake with his ass.
What? Uh, Man,
Like, did somebody watch Clark Connors, bro? My guy
they must
holding
have
his
thought that
ass,
shit was
just
great.
going to town.
They're grabbing his old ass, man, and now we get it. Now we went from a guy grabbing his old ass to his own ass to someone's brother grabbing his ass for him. All right,
Straight playing patty cake with his brother's ass. What the fuck?
crazy work.
This is the Raw before
What is
Mania,
going on?
bro. What?
This is the Raw before Mania, dude. And not only do you got them doing that, but they're facing the MFTs for no reason.
What in the blue hell is going on, dog? My God. So we have Solo Sikoa being distracted by Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga came through by the timekeeper area, and Solo and Tal Tonga got in his face. And meanwhile, the greatest of all time, Tonga Lola, took a BFT, and LA Knight and the Usos won. Again, so many questions. What is that theme song? Why was he playing patty cake with his brother's ass? And straight playing with that shit. And
He was.
why are the MFTs doing this on Monday Night Raw? Like, what is this? Why are they here?
And what is the purpose? So and that's the thing. You have this thing where Atama essentially damn near turns on his own group and makes them lose a match, but they already have a pre-announced match for Friday against the Wyatt Six, which I mean I'm sure they're gonna lose because of whatever is going on. But what are you couldn't have maybe did what you did tonight with this match and just do it on Friday and call it a fucking day? Like, what was the purpose to any of this, man? What is the purpose to any of this?
I got nothing.
I got
I
nothing.
have absolutely. I'm still wondering. I'm genuinely still wondering. Like, what you couldn't have like ran this gig on Friday to the point where like it's gonna be a 4-on-4 anyway. Like, all the MFTs aren't gonna be able to compete. So like, how about Tama doesn't show up on Friday? And then Solo was like, bro, I wanted him in the match. And then he comes out and costs them the match against the Wyatts. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand why we had to do this. And like, where does this end? Like, do they turn on Solo on Friday? Like, what is going on? Like, is Tama going to be the new leader of this group? I think maybe that would be, okay. I guess Solo is just going to, go right back to the bloodline. I would prefer them to kick Solo out and have Solo actually be Solo.
Oh,
And then we maybe get, a little bit of the street champ the street champ that he used to be. So a little bit of that character, maybe a little bit more of the enforcer, but they're not going to do that. They're probably going to throw him right on Monday Night Raw, and they're going to, have him reconcile with his brothers and do the whole bloodline thing. And, then they're going to fucking, instead of being in a feud with the Wyatts, we're going to get the bloodline versus Division. It's probably going to be where we're going. So that's probably what we're going to end up doing, because they are so creatively bankrupt. But regardless, again, still questioning why any of this was on Monday Night Raw, but LA Knight and the Usos picked up the victory as it's just them, Oos.
Just us oos, man. Just us oos.
We then got Lyra Valkyria.
He was happy.
Man, got me thinking about going to night one, man. 25% off, because of Ram.
It's 25%. Because of a Ram truck, actually.
Mm-hmm. Lyra defeated Charlotte Flair on this episode of Monday Night Raw via help from Bally. Because last week, Lyra helped Bally win. So this week, Bayley returned the favor. This was nice to see. I gotta say, I just hope Lyra and Bayley get stomped on Friday because I want them to win on Saturday.
Exactly.
So I was a little concerned seeing Lyra pick up the victory. Usually, you guys know Wrestling 101. I was a little concerned seeing her pick up the victory because I swear on everything, if Lyra and Bayley do not walk out of that match as women's tag team champions, we're going to have a real fucking problem. But regardless, match was pretty good, and, always nice to see Lyra pick up the victory.
Exactly. It was nice to see Lyra pick up the victory. I'm sure it was very nice for some to see Lyra pick up the victory, man. But I like what they're doing, man. I just, like you said, I really hope that they win the tag titles on Saturday, man. Because if they don't, they're both going in the complete wrong direction with everything, man. But I also wouldn't be shocked if they lose and then at Mania there's a turn with either Lyra turning or Bayley turning. I wouldn't be shocked at any of that.
100%, bro. Yeah, I could very well see WWE wanting to do a Lyra heel turn. I feel like everybody expects Bayley to be the one to do it. So I could see WWE wanting to go the shocking route and have Lyra do it. But I actually would be interested to see Lyra as a heel. Let's see, man. We got Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer brawling.
No way.
I know. Well, they're I gotta admit, their brawls are good, but that is literally all they do. They just brawl.
All they do is brawl. They'll say one liner to each other during or after a brawl like they did here tonight, man. But they never got any real material to work with. But they've been brawling, man, and their brawls have been probably the best brawls out of all these brawls. So at least there's that. They got that going for them, man, because they don't have Liv's new song going for them at all, man. So at least they got this.
You didn't like Liv's new single, Trouble?
Did not, man. And apparently that's going to be her new theme, too.
What?
It's either going to be her new theme or just what she's coming out to Mania to, but she will be coming out to Mania to the song, apparently.
That's a rough song. That's a rough listen. I was genuinely embarrassed having that come off the sound bar tonight. I was embarrassed. I buried my head in the phone, dude. That was bad. That was really bad.
That was a really bad song, man. And yes, Hunter, they should call it Brawl Mania this year. That's all anyone does. There was what? 1, 2, I think 3 brawl. I think there's a standard of 3 brawls per show.
Sometimes 4 if you account for Oba and Brock the past month.
Exactly.
God. Yeah, they had a nice little brawl. Liv Morgan seems to be recovering well from her that giant knot on her forehead, that golf ball that was on her forehead. She seems to be recovering well from it, and she was out there screaming and getting physical. So I'm obviously, she is cleared, and WWE's confident in her going out there and getting physical. So I'm sure everything's okay. Glad everything was okay with that. By the time her new single Trouble came out, banger song.
Exactly. Complete banger song.
Yeah. Fucking Liv Morgan. I didn't have Liv Morgan thinking she's Janet Jackson out here.
I really didn't.
Got the backup dancers and everything, bro. I didn't have that on my bingo card. I can tell you that.
Whole set.
Man. We then get a Gunther promo that also resulted in a brawl. Gunther comes out and he goes to speak, and Rollins attacks him. Gunther retreats very quickly, and Rollins grabs the mic demanding answers on why this is so personal for Gunther, why he attacked him. He says, Gunther, if you're not a coward, then you would get your ass back in the ring and tell me why to my face. I actually really like this part because Gunther, deadass, grabbed a mic and got right in his face like the fucking dog he is. And they've been portraying this dude like he's some big baby. No, he's a dog. His character believes he is the best wrestler bell to bell on the planet. He's not scared of no man.
He should have no fear whatsoever.
Man. Gunther says this is personal for him because Seth Rollins has always dodged Gunther. Gunther said, when I was World Heavyweight Champion, you shied away from challenging me, and all you did was stoop to being a Paul Heyman guy, following his orders, following him around. He says, so at WrestleMania, this is personal to me because I need to prove to you that you cannot lace my boots. And he's literally bumping his head into his as these guys start brawling again. I actually really like this. I'm glad Braun Breaker did not come back because we would have got a 2-week build off of a Braun Breaker comeback and match. And again, like I've been saying all stream tonight, I love the simplicity of this. I love that this is simple storytelling. There's simple reasonings here. And obviously, there's also the reason Gunther's doing this. He wants Brock. But we're not going to know that now, and that's fine. That we don't need to know that yet. But I like the simplicity of this. I've loved this feud. This has been short and sweet, and this has been great. I love the simple reasonings behind this match. I really do. It's a very nice contract to half of the headaches of feuds that I get watching this show.
Exactly, man. I like this segment, and I like the reasoning here, man. And I like the vibe that these two had each other, man. Gunther doesn't like Seth. I think Seth was dodging him. I think Seth doesn't take himself seriously. And that's stuff I would have expected from a full feud from these two anyways. Gunther bringing up, the way, Seth acts and dresses and all that stuff. And I definitely think that works as, character differences. And I really think they do work as, polar opposites, man. And I like it, man. I like the simplicity. I like the aggression from those two, and I like a Gunther that doesn't back down. I like when they book him like that, man. And I like what they're setting up here, and I'm glad we got this. And I'm glad we got the version of Seth we got tonight, man. We didn't get no whoa bullshit, man. We got Seth out there pissed. That's the Seth I would really like to see as a permanent Seth Rollins, man. But I like what we got here, man. I wish WrestleMania was as simple as this.
100%, man. Hunter asks, who is winning this?
I don't know. Originally, I thought Seth, but it could be Gunther. It's one of those ones where I think it could go either way. I think with Seth, I think I'm going to say Gunther, man. I think I'm going to say Gunther. They could obviously have Braun return at Mania to screw over Seth, or they could just have Seth lose. I'm going to actually say Gunther on this one.
I'm going to say Gunther, too. I actually think what you just said, I think we're going to see Braun Breaker come back and cost Seth Rollins the match, and I think that's going to leave the door open, unfinished business between Gunther and Rollins, because I think after this, Gunther is going to set his sights, or at least start teasing setting his sights on Lesnar, and I think at a later time, he's going to come back to Seth Rollins, and I also think this is going to spark some sort of beef between Braun and Gunther for the future as well. Because Gunther is going to win the match, but I don't think it's going to be the way. I don't think it's going to be a way that satisfies Gunther.
I think it will be.
Yeah, but I like the simplicity of it, man. Simplicity is kicking everything else's ass this year for WrestleMania.
It really is.
Kairi Sane versus Io Sky. Asuka was out there trying to cheat. Rhea attacked Asuka. She came out there to even the odds. And then Jade Cargill came out, attacked Ripley. Io then dived on to Jade, took out Jade Cargill, distracted herself from her match. Kairi Sane took advantage for the win. Kairi Sane defeated Io Sky. And Io Sky and Asuka is not going to be on WrestleMania. I'm assuming Io is going to be involved with the whole Rhea stuff. I keep seeing a lot of people say they want Io to turn heel. At this point, I would be okay with that. I mean, Monday Night Raw probably needs the heels anyway, especially if you keep if you do end up keeping the world title on Vacker, heel Io versus Stephanie. I'll take that. You could do the heel. I think I would be okay with Io Sky's character going heel. I think it'd be a nice refresh. She's been babyface for quite a while now. So I think that would be cool. I mean, I could also go without it too. It's not really something I'm like begging to see per se, but if it does give her character a nice refresh or whatever, I don't think it's gonna happen because I think they still want to do that Asuka program. But I mean, they could do it. It's something I think would be interesting. Like I said, it's not at the top of my list, but I think it could be good.
Definitely, I wouldn't say no to it. I'd be down for it. Overall, I think, like you said, they still want to do the Io and Asuka match, and I still think they want to do the Rhea and Io tag team. They just kind of had to essentially pause it just to get Rhea in that world title scene, just for a Mania match, because they really realized they didn't have one because Triple H doesn't know how to book backup plans, and that's kind of why all this happened in the first place, man. So I think EO is going to be in Rhea's corner at the show, man, and she's going to be the support of Rhea's loss. And I think after that, they're like we said, there can be the turn, but I think they still want to keep that EO and Rhea on-screen friendship for the time being.
Yes. Dragon Lee and Javon Evans defeated JD McDonough and Rusev. Dragon Lee hit a Styles Clash. That got a huge reaction from Sacktown here as they were going crazy. Everybody misses you, AJ. If you want to come back,
Hey, we really do.
Please
Please come back and give us a Will Ospreay match.
Yeah. See you May 24th.
Please. See you. Exactly.
He won with a Styles Clash. Afterwards, there was a big brawl. What do you know? There was a big brawl with all the ladder match guys, and Rusev Machka kicks everybody into oblivion as he stands tall. And they're saying, they said Rusev looks like the favorite for the ladder match. Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna lose money if you're betting on him as your favorite, man. You're gonna lose a whole lot of money. Rusev is not winning that match, man, and of course they gotta end it with a brawl, man. How else you gonna end this match?
Tom is here, bro. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, Tom? How you doing, man? Yes, Ray did actually run out there in slow-mo, man. That is gonna be an interesting watch of him in that ladder match.
Yeah, that wasn't that was not that was not a responsible decision by any means.
Bring him back.
Let's bring Ray's old self out there in a ladder match. First match back, a ladder match. Nice, good stuff, Paul.
Good lord.
Yeah. I mean, this was pretty basic. I'm excited for the ladder match, but this is pretty basic. I mean, bro, again, please do not bet your money on Rusev winning this ladder match. That's not good for anybody involved. Yeah, man. I mean, again, pretty basic stuff. This was your final piece of content before the ladder match takes place. So again, this was just rather generic stuff. I mean, it was okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but speaking of there's something very wrong with what happened next. They announced John Cena. right? They don't announce, but they run their B-roll like, Cena's going to be the host for WrestleMania or whatever. Adam Pearce is on the phone with somebody, and he says, yeah, I'm excited to have him. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. And in walks Danhausen. And he says, are you talking to him? Let me talk to him. As Adam Pearce is like, what? And Danhausen is asking to speak to John Cena. He said, is he on the phone? The greatest of all time? John Cena? And Adam Pearce is like, no, Cena's going to be the host of WrestleMania, though. Bro, they are teasing an interaction with Danhausen and John Cena.
Yep. You know it, dude. You know, one of these nights on WrestleMania, we're going to get an interaction where Danhausen gets his name wrong and he doesn't see him and he can't see who's talking to him. And it's going to be some of the worst shit ever. We're going to have the greatest of all time interact with Danhausen, man. Oh, man. That's going to be rough, dude. It's going to be rough. I'm expecting the worst with that.
This is something me and Sir K randomly predicted a couple weeks ago. And they're actually going to have John Cena interact with this dork.
Yep. He's gonna interact and have some funny quote-unquote segment together. Oh, man.
Wonderful. Can't wait. The ending to the show. Roman Reigns and CM Punk. All right. First of all, I mentioned this a little bit when we were talking SmackDown. Jey Uso. Remember when Jey Uso was involved in this feud? And I complained about it. You complained about it. We all complained about it. Because it looked like they were building to Punk and Jey Uso more than they were Punk and Roman. And I remember everybody told me, everybody let me have it. Everybody told me, well, you don't know what you're talking about. We have completely different perspectives on this. Jey Uso is controlling Roman Reigns, and it's a long-term story they've been telling for a while. The contrast of, how things used to be ran, where Roman gave orders, and now it's Jey. This is a long-term story. Well, genius. Where's Jey been? Where has he been? Since they were telling the long-term story that I just had to sit back and let play out. Well, be my guest to tell me, you genius. Where is Jey Uso in this long-term story that was supposed to play out before my very eyes? Because my eyes have told me that they completely dropped that for about, what's it been now, 2-3 weeks? Which was the right thing to do, but I was told, let it play out. This is a long-term story.
Exactly. We were told to let it play out. It was a big plan they had brewing for years now. And they interacted for 2 weeks, and Roman and the Usos genuinely haven't interacted once, brought each other up on the show once since, man. They have nothing to do with each other all of a sudden anymore, man. I don't know what the hell's going on, man. I don't know what this segment was. Like Tom says in the comments, man, Jey and Punk had better chemistry than Roman and Punk, and I think that's because Punk or Jey and Punk were allowed to actually go at each other, man. And Punk with Roman, there was one segment where they went after each other, and their segments they culminated in them fucking apologizing to each other. Good Lord.
Either way, none of it was good. None of it was.
Nothing. No direction they took this in was good. They took it it started in a good direction, took it in a bad one. They brought it back into an even worse one, man. Don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, the long-term story, Jey Uso was out there telling Punk to apologize.
And he just does. He ended up just doing it.
And he dead ass ended up just apologizing. Bro, where are y'all at now? Where are you now? Jey Uso is nowhere to be found, but I was told this is all part of a long-term plan.
What a long-term plan, man.
But our takes are bad. Y'all look
Exactly.
silly as fuck. And again, we all questioned it. We all questioned the shit. Come on, bro. Roman comes out there and he does his shtick. He tells Sacktown to acknowledge him. And then Punk comes out. He comes out from the crowd and he gets on top of the announce table. He says, I came out here to tell the truth. So Roman, tell me when I'm telling lies. And I was like, all right, this is the one last chance. This is the last chance they got to step up to home plate and swing the bat for the fences. Punk last week called out Roman a shit ton. And I told you guys last week I was going to question it if Roman didn't come out here slinging again. Because every single time Punk goes hard at Roman, Roman never comes back.
Yep, every time.
And Punk says he was going to tell the truth. Tell me when I'm telling lies. So I said, okay, here we go. Here we go, man. He says, Roman, the truth is I hate you because I envy you. He says, this has been my only dream, and this was all handed to you. I hate how hard you work your ass off to be that great. I hate how many times you main evented WrestleMania. Sika was a great man, great wrestler, a great champion, a great Hall of Famer. I love the old timers, and I hate that I invoked his name in vain, and I sincerely apologize to you. I hate that there's more than one royal family in wrestling. And I hate the fact that I wasn't born into a dynasty. I was raised in the alleyways of Chicago. I had to find my own family in locker rooms, on the indies, all around the world. I hate that I have to share my first singles match headlining WrestleMania with you. And on Sunday, the ring announcer will say, and still. Punk, beggars can't be choosers, bro. You're main eventing against Roman Reigns. That's like the pinnacle of the business.
Exactly, but all right.
Let's discuss Punk's part of this first. Bro, when he brought up Sika, I was like, okay, he's talking about his dad again. I'm like, Roman's got to go in on his ass, bro. This is the last chance we got. He starts calling his dad a great man, a great wrestler. He hates he invoked his name in vain, and he sincerely apologizes to him. I'm sitting there the whole time listening to Punk talk thinking, okay, where's the catch? When is this going to switch? And he's going to start going in on his ass. Never got it. This was genuinely just him apologizing to him. So before I move on to Roman's part, any thoughts? What was going through your mind watching this Punk side of it?
Man, but I just gave up, man. I mentally just gave up when they started doing the whole apology thing, and he kept going. And I realized what they were doing was like you mentioned earlier. It was basically the post match promo, but they were doing now. Genuinely, I could tell Triple H, Roman, Punk, they all gave up on this feud completely, man. Um, comments in the comments. It feels like this feud took a pivot since the Dead Dad line, and I genuinely think that's the case. I think they realized that. I think Roman realized afterwards he wasn't allowed from our knowledge, due to lines being cut. But I think Roman realized he wasn't allowed to go at Punk the same way Punk went at him, and I think Roman gave up on the feud, which caused Punk to give up on the feud, to cause Triple H to try to salvage the feud by getting Bloodline reheated nachos involved, but then they kind of gave up on that and realized that wasn't the plan. And we circle all the way back to here, till right here we are, where they just literally essentially squashed the beef before the match, not after the match, before the match, and I genuinely gave up. Like I think everyone involved in this story gave up during this promo, man. I was so just whatever, man. What's going on here, man? What's going on here?
Man, I tell you, I wanted to like this promo so bad. I wanted to like these. I wanted to like this promo so bad when these guys were coming out. Man, I was ready for something based off what we got last week and everything Punk spoke about. He talked about his football career. He even brought up bringing, Roman being plastic and being a TKO guy and eating the dog food for the creepy old man and all this shit Punk was talking about. I was ready. I was ready for something that was going to, pun intended, take us home. It was going to take us to WrestleMania. And this is what we got, man. An apologetic, show of respect before the match.
Like, and like Mike says in the comments, man, welcome to the show, man. But like what Mike says in the comments, like this is how you could like start the feud. Maybe it starts like this, like damn, like I don't like you, I kind of envy you, and then it just gets hotter and hotter from there. Or like you said, this is the promo after the match where like we were hot during the promo, the match happened, but there is respect in there. Neither option, they took the worst possible option and basically made them squash the beef right before the match after all they said to each other. And they just dropped everything essentially. Literally, like I said at the start of the show, this promo has made their match on Sunday completely meaningless from everything they did prior in their segments together.
What a joke, bro. What a fucking joke. Roman says to Punk, that's the truest stuff I've ever heard you say up until the end. He says, I hate you too. I hate you because of the relationship you have with all them. I hope when I leave, they chant for me like they did for you for 10 years. And that's the truest thing you got, is the connection to our fan base. But on Sunday, the reality is your time is up. I gave you 2 months to hang on to this relevancy, and you did nothing with it. And on Sunday, on Sunday, it's and new. This nostalgia act is done. We bring this thing back to where we had it, and you will acknowledge me.
Man. And of course, Triple H just has to basically sneak in there the it used to be better a few years ago stuff. He still has to just sneak that in there, man, because he can't cope with the fact that his TV sucks right now, man. And it's man, I'm just so disappointed and just so done with this feud, man. It started off so hot, and I was so hopeful for this feud, man. And it started off hot. They were at each other's throat. Exactly what you want to see with a CM Punk and Roman Reigns WrestleMania feud. You want these two to be at each other's throat, man. It started like that, and it just deteriorated from there, from lines getting cut to bloodline stuff involved for them to just uninvolve it. This is just a really the main event scene for this WrestleMania has to be the most started off well, turned up shit so fast for both of their main event feud matches, man. It sucks to see because at the end of the day, you look on paper and you look in potential, Roman and Punk and Cody and Randy, they should be instant hits, man. Instant cinematic hits, instant chemistry off the gate, man. And whether it was backstage drama, whether it was Triple H not knowing what the fuck he's doing, it completely fucked everything up. And I feel nothing for either night's main events, man. Especially after this.
Dude, when they first had their original promo, where Roman brought up, you made my life so hard when you went on your friend's little podcast and decided to bury me. They completely sold me on this, and every week since then, Roman would give these little tiny jabs, but they were nothing. They paled in comparison to the stuff that Punk was saying to him about his dad. He was just being a smug prick, just really trying to get in his head. And Roman Reigns was like, nah, he was like just walking around like nothing happened. He was walking around like just so like nothing. And Punk just got ridiculously hypocritical, giving these jabs to Roman Reigns that were clearly stuff that are very hypocritical towards him. Talking about Roman Reigns and how he doesn't have tough skin, yet CM Punk was set off by being called old. But then the next week comes out and says that it didn't bother him at all, even though he punched Roman Reigns the week prior for saying it. And then Jey Uso gets involved, and it was stupid as fuck. It was stupid as hell. Jey Uso's pulling Roman strings. I was told it's part of the story. Then they just dropped it. Great story, guys. Great fucking story. I love how much you guys defend WWE for insulting your intelligence. And then we get here, and then we get to last week, and we get the artificial pipe bomb where CM Punk yet again goes at Roman Reigns. He goes at his football career. He talks about the creepy old man that made him eat dog food and all these jabs. Talks about a feud that he's not even involved in. And we get to this week, and it's none but respect before the match. I hate you because I envy you. And Roman's like, yeah, you know, man, I hate you too. Because they love you. And I want them to love me the way they love you. This is the promo we should have got the Raw after WrestleMania. This is the post-match promo. This is the promo that they cut after they done went through a war together. You have CM Punk come out there, or Roman Reigns, or whoever wins, and they say, you know what, man? Truth is, I hate you because I envy you. But after everything we went through, I respect you. I hate your guts, but I respect you as a performer because of the war we had last night. You say this shit then. I hate you because you were born in a dynasty. I loved your dad, and I hate that I had to do that. But it was all for the World Heavyweight Championship. I wasn't born into a dynasty. I had to bust my ass to get this. And then Roman say, you know what, man? I hate you too, and it's because of the connection you have with the audience. But I respect you. That's what you cut next week. Before the match, what are you trying to do? Kill the hype? Great job. You murdered it.
They did it. They murdered the hype, man, and that's the part that I don't get. Like, you have this respectful ass promo with each other, but the whole feud started off with them squashing that mutual respect that they had during War Games that you set up during War Games. During War Games, you set up a mutual respect between Punk and Roman because it was obvious at the time they wanted to do Roman and Cody 3. Then they changed plans. They ended up doing Roman and Punk. And then in some of their first promos together, they had Roman go out there and say, you know, fuck the whole, you know, Zebros lame shit, you know, I don't respect you. He went out there and said that there is no mutual respect. Fuck that.
Yes.
And then you circle all the way back into mutual respect again because you don't know what you're doing. How do you get here, bro? And this proves that Triple H does not plan anything ahead, bro, because none of this was the plan. War Games was supposed to set up WrestleMania. It tried to set up a WrestleMania that got completely changed in the process. We got this. You had Roman and Punk mutual respect that you purposely voice that you dropped at the start of this feud that you completely circled around and brought back before their match, not even after, like you said, dude. It is just the most this is just the result of poor planning and poor week to week and future booking, man. It became a detriment of Punk and Roman's feud. They Triple H didn't plan nothing. He booked it week to week. It never made sense at all from week to week. And right before the match, they kill all hype and make their match meaningless. Very horrible to see, man.
You can't make this up, bro. You cannot make this stuff up, man. Way to go with your main event championship level stuff. And again, everybody that feels terrible for Triple H. Oh my God, Ari got involved and brought Pat McAfee in. How truly I ask, how do you explain the Roman and Punk stuff then? I don't think Ari Emanuel's getting involved in this. I don't think Ari's like, you know what, man, these guys are being too mean to each other, man. We need respect.
I need respect right here, man. Like, no, this is all Triple H because he doesn't know what to do week to week. 1 week he wants to bring back the bloodline. The next week he's like, never mind. You guys are gonna hate each other. You're gonna talk shit. Up next week. Up. You know what? All the shit you said, just drop it, man. You just bring back the mutual respect thing. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? I don't feel bad for Triple H. Triple H is bringing involvement on himself, and I don't feel bad for him at all, man. I don't know what he's doing.
Absolutely terrible, bro. Absolutely terrible. And again, this is why I've been saying it's Triple H's fault just as much as it is TKO. So for the people that want to let him off the hook and feel sorry and coddle him like he's a little baby, it's just as much his fault as it is theirs.
100%.
Mutual respect. Mutual respect is what we get. This is what we get before the match. Wonderful stuff, Triple H. Just amazing work here. Wow. You done outdid yourself. You made yourself look more like an ass this week than you did last week with Roman and Punk.
Yep. He always does, man. He's just going to make himself look like more and more of an ass every week. The lead up to Mania.
And that was the final installment of the Roman and Punk feud building into WrestleMania. What an all-time fumble this feud has been.
Yep. All-time fumble. This feud has been a complete fumble, and I do not care about their match going into Mania. And I don't give a fuck who wins, bro. I really don't. I don't care about who's world champion at all for either title coming into and out of Mania. I really don't care.
Mike says, what if they're trying to bring in TKO as an evil owner as to how Vince was in the Attitude Era? Well, Logan Paul said, he wants the Attitude Era back,
That's what Pat said, that Logan Paul, they all want
yeah,
that.
Pat wants it back too. That's right. I forgot about that. I'm so tired of these fake ass wrestling fans who think they know history because they watch fucking clips on Twitter and they watch their IG reels and they watch their TikToks of the Attitude Era and they say, man, this shit was dope. We need to go back to this. Could we not move with the tools that we have today and succeed with what we have? Why do we always have to, we did it fine 3 years ago, 2 years ago even. Why do we always have to say, man, things were so much better back then? We got to go back to the Attitude Era, man. I'm so tired of this Attitude Era jerk off session, bro. I'm so tired of it. They make me fucking hate the Attitude Era, bro. And I wasn't even alive then. I didn't even watch the product then. And I can acknowledge it was a great period. It's great. We're done. It's over. It's fine. We're done. We're never going to go back to that level of cutting edge television, bro. People can't handle it. That's just the way it is. People can't handle it. They can't.
People can't. No one can handle it. We're never going to get that era back, man. And like Tom says, a lot of people that were there, that watched it week to week, said it was ass, and said, the only thing people remember are the big hype moments, because that's how wrestling works. Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, PG Era. Only thing you're going to remember is the good from that era. You're not going to remember the week-to-week nothings that happened at the time. I'm the same age as you, never watched that era. I wasn't alive, man. I've watched the eras I've watched, and you know what I remember? The good stuff, man, and that's what people do nostalgic acts for. You'll see it on Twitter too. You see people talk about fucking 2016 Raw, 2016 SmackDown, old NXT, and the shit was great at the time, but we moved on. I moved on. Can these fans move on, please?
I hear that same thing all the time as well, bro. I hear the same thing all the time. Is like the Attitude Era, from what I hear, most of it was not that good. Yes, you had the Austins and the Rocks and the Kurt Angles and the Undertakers or whatever you had, the Vince McMahons or whatever, and that stuff was great. But everything else was a bunch of marshmallow fluff. It was a bunch of nothing. That's at least what I hear. Now again, I can't speak on it. I wasn't alive then. But at the end of the day, move on, bro. I'm so tired of this company trying to. You talking about the Attitude Era, the people in it talking about the Attitude Era. Everybody wants the Attitude Era back. It's never going to come back, okay? It's done.
It's done. It's over with. It's dead. Everyone moved on. The business moved on long ago, and it's been fine ever since, man. So let's just move on.
Yeah, again, that's why whenever people bring up, oh, NXT sucks now. I wish they could go back to black and gold. Don't even attempt it. Because you will never, ever go back to the black and gold era of NXT. Anytime people bring up that argument. You know what I mean? That's why when they got out of the, color NXT and they went to the white and gold, I was okay with that. I was like, okay, that's their own thing. Make a white and do. You're never gonna do black and gold. If you want to try white and gold, make the white and gold era your own thing. You know what I mean? And they've made it what they've made it. You know what I mean? And NXT's its own era now. But dude, you can never. And again, that's why when everybody was like, man, they gotta bring back black and gold, I was adamantly like, no, do not even attempt to bring back black and gold. If NXT wants to hold their occasional homecoming shows to run their nostalgia act, fine, whatever. But you can never bring back full-fledged black and gold NXT. It's just never gonna happen. Get over it.
Mm-hmm. And look what happened when NXT finally moved on and they focused on that little era where they had like Javon Evans, Oba, Tony D, Trick, Carmelo. When they all had them in NXT at the same time, they were doing well. People liked it. They were building fresh stuff. They were doing their own thing. They moved on. You have to move on, please.
Ridiculous, bro. But hey, man, that is everything, bro. This has been an absolute blast talking to you guys on here for another edition of episode 295. And again, with that, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys did miss the beginning of the show, you guys are gonna get to see the debut of NHPD on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. We will be live with some Ready or Not. We'll be live with some Ready or Not, man. I'm very excited for this. We got a gaming stream, and we got a 5-day stretch. You guys are going to get us for 5 days in a row. We got Thursday, which obviously, like you see on your screen, the debut of NHPD for Ready or Not on Notorious Heels Gaming. Friday, we got the news and WrestleMania predictions. Saturday, we got WrestleMania Saturday's post-show review. Sunday, we got WrestleMania Sunday's post-show review, and we'll be live right back on here next Monday with Unscripted 96, man. So, again, just another fair warning, Ready or Not, here we come on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, man. You guys are going to get to see me and Sir K turn into some officers, bro. So, we're going to be doing our thing and saving lives one mission at a time, bro. So, thank you guys so very much for joining us, man. This has been an awesome discussion. This has been awesome. I'm so excited for this weekend, man. I have a feeling we're all going to have a lot of fun, bro. So I'm excited, man. Yikes. Thank you guys so very much, everybody who joined us. We got Mike. Welcome to the chat, Mike, again. Glad to have you, brother. We got my man Hunter. We got my guy Tom. We got manager Logan in the house, bro. Thank you guys so very much. We got Z Maddox, bro. Thank you guys, everybody in the live chat, everybody in the Replay Mafia. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us. That is going to do it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
That is going to do it. And we'll see you all on Thursday with another edition of Notorious Heels Gaming with Ready or Not.
Peace. Hell yeah, bro. bro. That was amazing. Oh, let's call this fucking dog. Yeah. Damn, it's hot. I know. I know your room is blazing too. Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good. That's good. You end up going to the CDL place today? Oh, oh that's true. I'm dead. Nice. What's going? Oh, okay. Nice. Excited for you. Happy for you. Proud of you. Mm-hmm. Ah, brother. Just stop. The TKO demon. Oh, man.